Did you just watch the greatest to ever do it? No, I watched Slime hit gold, then proceeded to go on a victory lap that even the Dodgers haven't done. Chat, what is up? What is up, chat? How we doing?
W Slime.
Yeah, I was sorry. I took a little bit to go live. Well, I'm sick today. I should come clean. I'm sick. I'm very sick, but I'm recovering quickly. But I was waiting to start stream because I was watching Slime play League. He's hit gold. Slime has hit gold. He has not yet won his gold game, but he has hit gold. Thank you for the subs, boys. Who signed the jersey? Yamamoto. I didn't have somebody else sign the... It's a golden Kappa hype train! It's a Los Angeles Dodgers approved golden Kappa hype train. What in the hell? Let's go, baby! He won a silver game to get gold. He has never won a game in gold. That's what the gold game is. All right, I'm not here to rain on a parade, but we roasted Aiden for not getting his immortal game. I got roasted for my plat game, which I eventually did. And now he needs to do his gold game. It's how the world works. He's gotten 2 gold. Absolutely. He can never have that taken off his badge. But he hasn't won his gold game. That's how it works. Look, I'm on the list. But you think I'm scared of speaking the truth here? I'm on the list. Anyway, chat, what is up? We're in a Golden Kappa hype train. If you guys happen to have a Twitch Prime, you guys can get the Golden Kappa emote for the next 24 hours to, I don't know, fuck around in a chat and type it occasionally. There's a mosquito in my room. It's gonna make me lose it.
The white power.
Anyway, you just go to, what the hell was talking about?
I also, it doesn't feel
Talking about white power?
Like, I don't know how to explain it.
What? Oh. So anyway, chat, all you got to do is click on a channel you like, click the subscribe button, see if there's a checkbox that says subscribe free. If there is, click it, hit subscribe free, y'all. It's that simple. It is that simple. Let me tag the entirety of my Discord and let them know I'm live on twitch.tv and youtube.com. I am a bit sick today, chat. I'll come clean. Every time I swallow, it feels like just daggers going down my throat. I'm tucking my thumb in and just throating a dagger every time. I'm back. Lots to discuss. Drink some tea. I did. I just cleaned a tea. I should get another water, actually. All right. Okay, boys. The lol cow did it. He did.
W toilet paper.
He did. Hold up. Oh, yeah. Shohei gave me strep. Now it's Tom Brady. Got hit by the seconds. All right. We are good. How was the championship parade? I'll be honest, I didn't go. I watched it on my TV. It looked fine. It looked chill. It looked tight. I'm sick, bro. I'm not gonna go out in public. It'd be kind of a BM thing to do. Ludwig, thank you for introducing me to baseball. The World Series was insane. It is crazy that I introduced you to baseball, because I started watching baseball last year. That is crazy. I started watching baseball genuinely last year. Shady Liz, thank you for the 5 gifted. Bruce, thank you for the 5 members on YouTube. I thought baseball was boring as fuck. I think, okay, so here's the thing about baseball. And I say this having watched like 7 YouTube essays and having done no other research. I think baseball's had periods where it is boring as fuck. And we just happen to be in one of the most exciting times of baseball. But like there's been very exciting times in baseball, and then there's been boring times in baseball. It goes through eras. And right now, we're at an exciting era. I think a lot of it's because the rule changes, you know. Stealing is easier, pitching is quicker, games go faster. But also the names, you know, the Shohei Otanis, the Aaron Judges, the Vladdies. So I think it's a mixture. Why is your mic so low? Because Tim hasn't fixed it, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Tim added a limiter on this shit like 5 years ago. I brought it up to him a couple times, and he just says it is what it is. And I don't know how to fix it. It was good once upon a time. You're always blaming Tim? Yeah, because I'm always paying Tim. I feel like this is a fair trade-off. I wouldn't be always blaming Tim if I wasn't always paying the man. There's a combo here. Anyway, I digress. Just turn up your speakers for today. Thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate that. Samatso Pit H Pith G. Thank you for the prime. I appreciate the Twitch prime. It's particularly low today. I mean, look, I can do this. I can do this. All right, check that out. Is that louder? But see, it's capped, so it's gonna start peaking. It's gonna start peaking. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know. It's all in this file. I don't know how to I don't understand it. Anytime you see Tim, just complain to him. Eventually, he will make a change. It's just about persistence. Anyway, chat. Thank you very much, Anko, for the 33 months. Asim, thank you for the gifted. Chat. Who watched? Who watched the greatest World Series of our lifetime? Who watched Game 7 at the Rogers Centre in Toronto, Canada, where the Dodgers made a miraculous comeback? A miraculous comeback against the Blue Jays to go back-to-back, crushing the Dodgers' hopes. And look, I want to say this up top, because I know a lot of Blue Jays fans are sad. But I want to bring up a counterpoint. Dodgers fans had to wait 365 days for this moment. We needed this. You don't understand, man. We had to wait a year to be able to lift that trophy. That is pain that many fan bases don't understand. And if we don't three-peat, half the fans that show up to Dodger Stadium are going to stop being fans. So we need this shit. We need this shit. Lockout is coming next year. Yeah, I don't think... look. If we sign Skeens, maybe. Depends if we get greedy. But anyway, chat, I was at the game. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I've been spamming posts on Instagram. Just detailing my adventures. Because this year, well, let's cut the bullshit. I did not stream in the month of October. Let's call a spade a spade. I said October might be a horror game month. I might try to go live every day or some shit. Didn't do that. Didn't even come close. I didn't even come close. I don't know how bad the damage is. I haven't looked yet. Let me look. Let me look at just how bad the damage is. I barely streamed. And the streams that I did do, for being candid, a lot of them were sponsored. Damn, about half the streams I did in the month of October were sponsored. Let's take a look. In the 30 days, I streamed 82 hours. I streamed 82 hours in the month of October. That is low. That is low. We can call that out. We can say that is low. Okay? Why? Why did I stream 82 hours when 30 hours were literally sponsored? I feel like I have two good excuses here. I feel like I have two good excuses. Okay? No, I have two good excuses here. Excuse number one, okay? There was a lot of drama. I'm not bringing it up. I'm just saying there was. Streaming was not as fun. I won't lie. It's not as hype. Two, there was Dodger baseball. All right. And so I think I went to, I must have gone to like 10 baseball games in the month of October alone. I went to so many games. I just kept going. And then it got addicting. I spent a ridiculous amount of money. I'm embarrassed to say the amount of money, but I spent a ridiculous amount of money on tickets. Thank you, Bruce, for the 10 gifted on YouTube. I spent an embarrassing amount of money on tickets. I don't want to say it. It's an Can I not just end it at an embarrassing amount? It's a lot. Okay? It's a lot. We'll get to it. Relax. We'll get to it. But anyway, for the World Series, okay, I had gone to the World Series for the Dodgers last year. I went to the home game against the Yankees. I think where Freddie Freeman hit the walk-off. I think I went to that game. But I went last year. Okay. I went last year to the World Series. And honestly, when I went to the first couple of playoff games, right? Because the playoff for the Dodgers is 3 rounds. It's like the NLDS, NLCS, and then the World Series. Based off how the previous 2 series had gone, I thought it was going to be a 4-0. I thought the Dodgers, based off everything I was seeing online and seeing in person, were going to steamroll their opponents into a 4-0. And so I got a bunch of tickets to go to the game because I wanted to see the final game. I think I literally predicted to be a 4-1. You're dumb as hell for that. I don't think I'm alone in this, by the way. Okay? If you look at betting odds, the odds for the Dodgers to win the games, because there's betting lines for every game before they happen, they were like 65% favorites. They were like 2-1 like in betting odds. I'm not talking about like, people's anecdotal opinions. We're talking about where people put their money, their money, Famously a reliable metric. Hold up. I think it famously is a pretty reliable metric. I'm not saying it's perfect, mind you, but I do think betting odds generally are a pretty reliable It's a much more reliable metric than Skip Bayless or any other of your favorite commentator. The aggregate of where people put their money is a pretty good indicator. I think generally, I don't think it's a crazy. Do you have a better one? Vegas lines, you know what? I'll give you that. Vegas lines are better. Vegas lines are slightly better. I'll give you that one. But anyway, the Dodgers are in the World Series this year. I had gone to their divisional series and their championship series in the National League. And then I was going to all the home games here. And that's where, there was the 18-inning game, and then they got fucking destroyed twice. So, because the series is so electric, I decided to impulse purchase tickets to Game 7. Now, I purchased this after Game 5 was lost. So, basically, Game 5 was lost by the Dodgers. The Dodgers had to win Game 6 to take it to Game 7. So, I bought the tickets to Game 7. The way that works is if the Dodgers had lost Game 6, then I would have been refunded my money. And if they won, I would have to go to Toronto to take the value of my ticket. All right, I impulse purchased it. And just the way that certain tickets work when you buy resale tickets is you have to buy them in pairs a lot of the times. Oftentimes they don't sell you individual tickets because it's harder for the seller to sell 2 individual tickets than wait for somebody who will buy both. So I bought a pair of tickets. And actually the only person I wanted to bring, the person who I asked to go with, was the person who brought me to my first baseball game almost 20 years ago. 18 years ago, my mom brought me to a Red Sox game, July 4th, 2007. And I won't lie. Okay, I think she had won the tickets in a raffle. I probably understood the game less than her at the time. And she was a French immigrant who had never watched baseball ever because baseball's not a big sport in France. It's just not. No, nobody's watching it. So I left that game not a baseball fan at all, saying baseball is the worst sport alive. Baseball is lame as shit. Why? I was a why do people watch baseball guy. Okay? All of this changed 15 years later when I went to an Angels game in Anaheim when I lived maybe 20 minutes away from the stadium, and I watched a mid-20s Shohei Ohtani do some crazy shit. Now I'm going to come clean. The only reason I liked Ohtani at the time was because he was a Japanese man doing electric shit. And I like Japan. I'm going to come clean. We know this is not a shock. This is true. I'll call a spade a spade. Ohtani was on the Angels putting up world record numbers, and then his team would exit the 162 game season with one of the worst records ever done by a team ever. It was truly a sight to see. It's like watching Slime's League of Legends game. It's like, what is this Diana, who is clearly Diamond, doing in a lobby with 4 troglodytes, with 4 chomos? They deserve to be in the pros. This is atrocious. So anyway, I was a Shohei fan at that point. But I still didn't really watch baseball until the trade happened. Now Shohei, not even the trade, I should say. The free agency happened. Now Shohei went to the Dodgers. I've been going to a lot of games. I've had a lot of accusations come my way. I've had a lot of accusations come my way of bandwagon fan. Now, do I reject these allegations? No, fuck no, baby. I moved to Los Angeles. I've been here 8 years. I'm a Dodgers fan now, but I will be for life. I'll never leave now. They have me by the balls. I'm a docile deer, but they have me for life by the balls. What if Shohei signs somewhere else? Then they don't have me anymore. It is what it is. I'm following Shohei. It is what it is, man. No, I'm kidding. I would still be a Dodgers fan. What is it? Wait, is Max in chat? What's Max up to? Max, I saw what you did to Ace Man. You shouldn't have called him gay. I'm a Love Island fan, bro. What do you say in my chat? Plaque user. Plaque /user. Plaque boy Max. He said, I need you. Okay. I am taken, but... And then he typed PogChamp in all lowercase. Okay. And then Pog in all caps. All right, you're doing everything. Okay, the emote game's a bit weak. I discovered something about Max that I thought was funny. He doesn't use BTTV, so he doesn't read the emotes. He just reads the chat messages. And a lot of people are making fun of him. Max, I do the same thing. Fuck the losers who are looking at pictures on a screen like a child. Me and Max read words. We're smarter men for it. All right, Max, what you need? What does he need from me? Doesn't he have my phone number? Max, you have my phone number. I need your wife number. No weird shit. I need to talk with you and your wife. Okay, so it's instantly weird shit. You can't say no weird shit and say I need your wife number. That's instantly weird shit. You could have eased into that. Hey, do you happen to have Cutie's contact information? These are ways to address what you're trying to get at. I need your wife number. What is that? What is even that? Now I'll say, She's doing her pod right now. She's doing wine about it. Not free. Not free. Sorry. I'm not making it up. She's doing her podcast right now. But I'm here. And I'm totally free. Bro versus bro, I'm trying to win Gamer of the Year. Fucking Max winning Gamer of the Year. Max, you were the worst gamer in FaZe, and they're the worst gaming org in the fucking website. What game have you put it up in the last year, Roblox? Hey, FL Studio's not a video game. This guy, what are you playing? What are you playing? That's rich. The WL community has jokes. They make me chuckle. Oh man, okay. No, you're good, man. You're good. lot of categories you could crush in though, for sure.
You're my mans.
A lot of categories he definitely win at.
+2.
Queso, Ludwig, Tyler 1, Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, FaZe ADAP, FaZe Swag, FaZe Sway, Jason the Ween,
this the
Stable
empty list?
Ronaldo, Jake Future, Cuff 'em, Small Ant, Nick A30.
What do you do about small?
I want all y'all niggas. I will be the best gamer. I'm the best gamer. Me, Black Boy, Prince. I will go against every gamer on this platform, even Peterbot.
Dude. Okay. I'm just going to pull up the Selenium just because I'm curious. Like, I'm just genuinely, Black Boy, I'm just genuinely curious. Over the last 365 days, so this pie chart represents everything he has done in the 1,228 hour stream. We have over 75% just chatting, like maybe a 20% slice for music plus IRL. The biggest game is Fortnite, GTA, COD. Liar's Bar is your like fourth most played game. 2K pushing it together, Sisyphus co-op. I know he never beat that. And then he played, let's take a look, 30 minutes of Among Us. Yeah, no, he's a gamer, bro. Now, just for comparison, let's look at Small Ant. Just for comparison, right? 1,400 hours. So we got more hours. Oh, wow. Pokemon, Mario Odyssey, Donkey Kong, Legend of Zelda, Pokemon Blue Prince, Hollow Knight, Get to Work, Minecraft, Pokemon, Deltarune, Pokemon, Outer Wilds. Just chatting makes up 21 hours. 21 hours! It ain't close. Don't start disrespecting me, because in the past year, I hit plat on League of Legends. And I I would wager max. I would wager max 100K that he could not hit platinum in the same amount of games or time that I did. There's not a universe that could happen. There's not a universe. I hit plat expeditiously. This motherfucker has been pissing me off today. Goddamn mosquito. Sorry, Maya. He just literally is fucking spawn camping me all day today. I've been sitting here all day and getting fucking spawn camps. Bullshit. I let him bite me once. Fuck off after that. All right. So anyway, chat. I wasn't a baseball fan growing up. I never watched baseball. A lot of people always say to me, shouldn't you be a Red Sox fan? To which I hate. I hate that shit. Because candidly, I'm not from Boston. I'm not from Massachusetts. Okay. Yes, I look racist, but that doesn't mean I'm a outright Red Sox fan. I'm from New Hampshire. It's a different state. And there's only 2 pro teams that acknowledge us. The New England Patriots and the New England Revolution. That's it. That's all. Bro just slyly called Red Sox fans racist. Hold up. I'm not exactly breaking the news here when I say Boston fans have been accused of racism. They are. That's the whole thing. What are you talking about? I mean, we are. Well, don't say that, right? Don't say we are. Don't just say they are, maybe. So anyway, I wasn't a baseball fan. I only started watching baseball last year. And then this year I went much deeper into baseball in the sense that I watched every single Dodgers game, like all 162 games, through YouTube highlights. I watch every game, every night. Because the cool thing about baseball is that they play a fuck ton. They play so much. It's like a forever food. It's always ready. It's always there. Scrambled eggs at a buffet. It's ready to go. They always got it. So it's like every night, you know, the days that they would travel, I would be sad because I wouldn't have another game to watch. And then I went to a bunch of games in person this year because I've had a soft goal that I will hit it next year. I'm convinced about it. I will hit next year. I have a soft goal of catching a home run ball. Ideally from Shohei Ohtani, but I'm not greedy. I would take Miggy Rowe if he's still playing next year. Will you get season tickets? Yeah, I will. I will. You know what? Because not only would it like allow me to go to more games, it'd also just be cheaper. It would be so much cheaper. Brother, the amount of money I spent on Dodgers tickets this year is $100,000. It's a ridiculous amount of money. It's a ridiculous amount of money. I spent a gross amount. Because you got to understand, like, I'm going to One Piece night. I'm getting tickets for, like, 8 people. My mom's in town. I got her and her aunt, her friend and her, my aunt, like, 5 tickets to a World Series game. Like, I probably bought, like 50 tickets. And then we're also talking about a lot of playoff tickets there, which is much more expensive. Did you get a box? Never once. And I don't think I ever would. I think boxes are dumb at baseball games. The only reason you get a box is if you're Leonardo DiCaprio and you don't want people to interact with you and you don't want to watch a game, I guess. But, like, your view is way worse. The best ticket is just the outfield. And then you got a chance at catching a ball when it comes by. Or getting a ball from Teoscar Hernandez when he goes to the outfield. Hey, I got you the baseball. Danny, thank you very much for the 1,000 bits. Danny, that's coming up. I appreciate the 1,000 bits. Danny did get me the baseball. That's coming up. All right. So anyway, I've been watching a fuck ton of baseball this year. And the Dodgers have a incredibly fun team to watch. Now, I will say, if all you watched was the postseason, you would have a higher regard for the Dodgers team than someone who watched every game. Not that the Dodgers were bad per se, but there were a lot of stretches throughout the season where they were sucking ass. They were super weak offensively. The bullpen blew several games that were like just fucking easy closeout games, like 4-0 leads in the 8th inning, just gone because Blake Trinan comes in and just actually puts the ball into his ass crevice and then poops it out, and it comes 3 miles an hour across the plate. Tanner Scott did shit that no one's ever done before, and by no one's ever done, I mean like no one has ever done. It was it was not looking like a world championship team at points, but you know, maybe that's all part of the plan because when September came around, team heated up. Everything started clicking. Team was looking in form. And they they beat the Phillies. Was it 3-1? They beat the Phillies 3-1. They swept the Brewers. And that brought us to the World Series. You're a bandwagon fan? I'm a new fan. I'm not, because bandwagon implies you are leaving a fandom of another team to join another team. I just started watching baseball. I'm a blank slate. No, it doesn't. That is literally what bandwagon is. Bandwagon is leaving a fandom to join another fandom that is more successful. I've lived in Los Angeles for 8 years. It's not like I live in Indiana and I'm like, yo, the Dodgers look crazy. I've been here. You were an Angels fan? I was not an Angels fan. I went to one Angels game and I got a Shohei jersey at the Angels game. It was my second game ever in my life. But I do love Shohei Ohtani, regardless. So anyway, I'm going to the World Series games. I went to every home game. I went to the 18-inning game. We talked about all that. And I got Game 7 tickets. Now, because tickets are, you know, usually sold in pairs, I bought 2. And my idea was to bring my mother. And I'm going to come clean. These tickets were fucking expensive. I blew a check on these tickets. It's the most expensive thing I buy. It's more expensive than every car that I own. Each ticket was $20K. It was expensive. It was a pricey ticket. But it was front row behind the Dodgers dugout. And I was like, brother, it's a Game 7. When will this happen again? The answer is probably next year when the Dodgers go back to back to back. But I would have to wait a whole 365 days for that shit. So, you know, let's live a little. Let's blow a check. And I tell my mom's like, yeah, I'm down to go. And I'm like, hell yeah. This is so cool. What a 20-year moment in the making. My mom brings me to my first game. I bring her to a Game 7 World Series game. She didn't have her passport. Now, I didn't know that they were going to go Game 7 before this. I expected 4-1. So I thought that the series was going to end at home here. She did not bring her passport when she traveled from, you know, where we grew up, New Hampshire, to LA. So she could no longer go. So I sold one of my tickets and I went by myself. Now, here's the issue. You only know there's going to be a Game 7 when the Dodgers win Game 6. And Game 6 happened on Halloween. I was watching the game. And right after the game ended, which it was a pretty amazing game in its own right, right after the game ended, I bought my ticket. The issue is direct flights from LA to Toronto were virtually all sold out because so many people were traveling for this game. You know, there's a limited amount of seats on the flight. So the only flight I could get, there's 2 options. One was a stop in Minneapolis, and then there's one flight from Minneapolis to Toronto, and I would get there at 3 p.m., but I had to wake up really early in the morning. And I was scared of this option because I was like, what if that flight's canceled and I'm stuck in Minneapolis? You know, that would be a nightmare. I need to get a direct flight. So I go for a direct flight. Here's the issue. I did not get a private jet. A private jet would be like $100-something thousand. I did not get a private. You're insane. The issue with the flight I got is that it landed at 7:15 Eastern. The game was scheduled to start at 8. Now, I did some research. The game actually starts 10 to 15 minutes after the scheduled start time because of the World Series. And there is a shuttle every 15 minutes that takes you directly from the airport to the stadium. That's about a 30-minute shuttle ride. So I was like, it's going to be a bit risky. I might miss, top of the first, maybe bottom of the first, because there's going to be no traffic, right? Because I get to use this tram. But I should make it about on time. I get on the plane. I made sure to get to the airport early. I'm sitting there in my seat. when the captain comes over the intercom. Just got word from air traffic control. Looks like it's going to be a 90-minute delay on this flight to Toronto. Do me a favor, folks. Just stay seated, seatbelts on. If you have to go to the bathroom, feel free. Keep you updated when I get into more news. Brother, this wasn't because of the government shutdown. This was Toronto's air traffic control telling us we could not land. It was Canada's fault. Because that was my first thought. Government shutdown, motherfucker, it's Donald Trump. I drafted a tweet. I had a tweet drafted. I was literally in the process of claiming a New York dead person's identity to vote for Mondami 10 times just because of how frustrated I was. When the pilot's like, clarification, this is YYZ Toronto Airport Air Traffic Control telling us no place to land right now. They've been slammed all day, so just stay seated and we'll take care of what we can. 90-minute delay. Now do the math here. I was supposed to arrive on time, possibly late. 7:15 landing, 30-minute ride to the stadium. The game's supposed to start at like 8:10-ish. So yeah, I might make it a bit on time. My flight landed at 9 o'clock. The game started at 8. Now, I have one small positive that I would like to give to Air Canada, which is their
07.
plane Wi-Fi is phenomenal. Because I was able to stream the game on my phone with YouTube TV with no interruption. I was mind blown. This brings up my second problem. And it's something a lot of you guys have probably experienced today. If you watch Monday Night Football, fuck YouTube TV. Because the second we crossed the border from the north part of New York to the south part of Canada, I get a black screen, and this is 15 minutes into the game, that says not available in your territory. Son of a bitch. Fuck. I couldn't watch the game because I was now in Canada, and you need Sports Network or whatever, Sportsnet, if you're going to watch the game in Canada, as opposed to in the States, you get YouTube TV or whatever it is. Now, I'm doing this on my phone. I don't have like a VPN ready to go. Maybe I could have gotten one, but I wasn't savvy enough to figure that out. So I didn't have a fucking VPN. I'm just sitting there. Now, I tweeted out, I was posting on my Instagram story throughout all this. And I said, someone give me a link to like a place where I can watch this. And I get a bunch of links to, I'm not gonna dox them, but the usual suspects for watching illegal pirated games. Okay? But if you've ever gone on one of these websites, you know that what happens is you click the link, there's a play button. You click the play button, and you have 3 ads come up. One for gambling, one for porn, one for AI or some shit. And I'm on a plane, bro, and I'm doing this, and I'm getting so much porn pop up. And I just because I was panicking because I wanted to watch the game because I was in the middle of watching it, I opened up the link, and I had my volume on. Okay, I had my volume on, and now I'm listening to porn on the plane. And that's not okay to do. So I fucking panic. I close my phone. I'm like, okay, I need something else. Which is when I will say I discovered the greatest Twitch stream of all time. You see, one viewer linked me a Twitch stream, and I'm not going to dox the streamer. I'm just going to show you. This is how I watched the World Series game. I was watching it on Twitch on my phone. And you know who's in the chat with me? Tens. Tens was in the chat with me. And the guy's title was literally like Dodgers versus Blue Jays. I was like, bro, change your title. And then everyone started spamming, change your title, change your title, change your title. So this is the title of the stream that I watched. It was just stream with tens. So me and tens are watching this. And finally, we land. And I discover how fucking far we are from the exit of the airport. The Toronto airport is massive. And there's not just me, there's like a few guys on this plane who are going to the game with the same plane I did. And we all met up at the front of the plane because we like, you ever see those videos, which is speed running, exiting the plane? We all did that meme. All right, we were all sitting there. Pilot's like, please wait for the seatbelt sign before you get up. Make sure your seatbelt is fully strapped as we taxi in. And then it goes boom. And then all of us went and we ran to the front. We were 3 guys at the front. It was me, this blonde Canadian dude, and this American dude. And we're all looking at each other. And we're like, you going to the game? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to the game. And then we're all like, want to split a cab? And he's like, absolutely. Follow me. That's what the Canadian guy says. He says, follow me. And then the gate opens, all right? And we start fucking hauling ass.
What a quick.
We're hauling ass. But something starts to happen when we're hauling ass. We start to notice, me and the other American, that this Canadian motherfucker's got legs. He's got a backpack on, and I'm falling behind. I Peloton every day. He must have like lapped me or some shit. I lost sight of him. And then it's not like I'm pretty fit. I'm not like fucking speedy or anything, but like I Peloton every day. I couldn't keep up with this guy was running crazy style. So I lost that guy. So then it's just me and my American friend, and we get to customs. And I forgot about this. I didn't even think about this when I bought the flight. I have to go through customs because Canada's a different country. There's a huge fucking line. So what do? We cut the line. I come clean. I cut the line. I lifted the rope. There was like a rope that cut people off that went to like some section where a security guard was clearly just fucking off and nobody was going up to him. I cut and then I walked my ass through. I did do this. Do I feel good about this? Yes. Yes, I do. This is the World fucking Series. I'm not missing it, baby. I'm not missing it. I'm not a good person for this. But I'm calling a spade. This is typical American behavior. Okay? And we go through. The security guard. This is where I realized, by the way, I did not realize how French Canada was. Like, I know Canada has French as one of their national languages. And if you see a sign in Canada, it's always cluttered because they have to, like, I think legally put English and French on it. So every sign's ugly as fuck because there's so much text on it. But what they do, at least East Coast, is they say hello, bonjour. They say both. I thought the motherfucker was French, so I started speaking French to the guy. And the guy, the customs agent, looked taken aback. Because I think for him, I realize now for him, he just says hello, bonjour, because that's just the cutscene you're supposed to do every time because you're a government worker. Me, I thought he was like, I want to speak French. And I was like, all right, let's do French. Because of that, it slowed me down in customs. Because he's having to think back to, I guess, like 11th grade on his French words. I'm having to figure out how to say my passport number in French. I lose my American friend now. I am now by myself. Meanwhile, this whole conversation is happening. I'm one ear AirPod in with the game. Okay, eventually, he lets me through. I go into the first taxi that's in line. As as I'm getting into this taxi, I hear this call. I'll just play it for you guys. I hear this call.
Choose Bobichette, and it might seem like an easy decision, but fly ball deep center. Edmonds going back. The ball is going long. 3-run home run. Bobichette.
That's what I hear. And I get in. I get into the Uber, and I have just the biggest Blue Jays fan of a taxi driver. And he's got the game on his radio. And the issue is I can no longer watch the Twitch stream because the Twitch stream is delayed 10 seconds. So the radio is telling me what's happening before the stream will show it to me. So I start listening to the game like it's, you know, like it's the damn 70s or 60s or whatever. So I'm listening to the radio broadcast, and the guys, the taxi driver's like, still 0-0, huh? And I'm the one, because I got in the car before him. I'm the one that has to be like, no, it's actually 3-0. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, Bobichette just hit a home run on Shohei. And he goes, Shohei? Isn't that supposed to be the pride and joy? And I'm like, yeah, he hit a homer on him. He's like, that's crazy. So it's 3-0 right now. And I'm like, yeah, it's 3-0 right now. He's like, damn, that sucks. Wow, you going to the game? And I was like, yes, I'm going to the game. He's like, you're late. I'm like, I know I'm late. And I'm fucking upset. And part of the reason I'm upset is because my ticket was very expensive. And I did not want to spend all that money on the ticket. I've also had a problem lately that I've been very open about, which I've been gambling too much. So I decided to do one final bet. And I did it before the game started. I did my final bet. I went all in. I went all in on the Dodgers winning. And you have to bear in mind, I did it with bad odds. I did not do it with 1-to-1 odds. I did it with like a little better than 3-to-2 odds. Or 2-to-3 odds. Don't encourage this. I'm not encouraging this. To be clear, today, I pulled all my money off of Robinhood. I'm clean. I actually followed through. I pulled all my money off of Robinhood. It's a dog shit app. I'm deleting the app. I pulled it all. But it's been very hard for me to avoid the temptation of gambling. So I put it all in one game of baseball. So the max you can bet depends. Simply put, you can't get more than 50,000 shares of something. So the value of my bet was 30,000 to win 50. Something like that. It was a big bet. It was basically the price of my seat. And I'm dealing with a lot of emotions because I can see in real time what the value of my bet is. And I'm going to show you real quick what the Dodgers' odds of winning the game was live after Bobichette hit a 3-run home run.
What's up, brother?
Because it changed pretty fucking rapidly from Dodgers being the favorite to holy shit, the Dodgers are not going to win this fucking game. Betting on your own team is taboo. Is it? I feel like betting on the opposing team is more taboo, no? I feel like betting on your team's normal. I can't find the numbers right now, but it dropped to 85-15. Basically, there's an 85% chance based off of what the market thought that the Blue Jays would win. The Dodgers went from 57% chance favorite to 15%. Anyway, I get into the stadium. Oh, my girlfriend's calling me. Hello, I'm live.
Hello, the laundry people are there saying that we ordered bags, question mark?
Yeah. I can go take care of it right now.
Seems lost and confused. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
BRB. Chat BRB 1 second. Oh my God. What was I saying? I was saying something wise, wasn't I?
You're my man.
Oh yeah, I got into the stadium.
Congrats to the Dodgers.
At the exact moment
Jimenez, 2-2. This one actually hits him.
that Robleski. So tensions got a bit high, right? I saw it phrased online as a brawl. This was not a brawl. This was, to be honest, a bit of an embarrassing overreaction from each team. I think the team was trying to have their teammates' backs, which I totally get. I think it was a bit of an embarrassing nothing burger, to be honest. They all kind of just got out of the dugout to stand there and then went back to the dugout. But whatever, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm sure it's something you have to do in baseball, whatever. I get it. And so then I go down to my seat, and I'm sure you guys have seen a couple pictures, but my seat is dead ass right behind the Dodgers dugout. Now, one thing I noticed quite quickly, there were not a lot of Dodgers fans who traveled to this game. In fact, the entire arena was pretty much just Blue Jays fans. There were maybe like 15 of us. I'm going to show you one clip to really highlight just how Blue Jays it was. And bear in mind, I'm in the away seat. I'm in the away section. But I think part of the issue is it's in Canada, which requires a passport. The tickets are incredibly expensive. The flights are incredibly expensive. It is not an easy game to go to. This is Miguel Rojas hitting a home run. Brother, nobody is cheering in my section. It's just me. Who's that girl next to you? She's who purchased the ticket that I sold. She's another Dodgers fan. And the moment I arrive, you know what she said to me? She says, "Thank God you're here. I'm glad I have another Dodgers fan." And, you know, I just brush it off. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. You'd probably want to have somebody else who's a fan. That way you don't feel so awkward cheering or whatever. I instantly get recognized. There was 3 guys next to me who go, "Ludwig, dude, I used to watch you." And I went, "Used to?" And he went, "Yeah, can I get a flick?" I went, "Yeah, sure." And then I go to watching the game. And you might have seen my tweet. I tweeted this out after the game. Got yelled at by a lady for wearing a Dodgers hat with a Japanese flag because, in quotes, did you forget World War II? Then I proceeded to watch a man named Yoshinobu Yamamoto pitch 3 electric innings, carry the Dodgers to a repeat World Series win and an MVP award. This tweet actually happened. I'm wearing the exact hat that I was wearing at the game. And a lady behind me, and I'm telling you, this is within 5 minutes of arriving. I've arrived. I've been asked for a picture by someone who says they used to watch me. I've been said, "Thank God you're here." And then I've been tapped on my shoulder, and I turn, and the lady's like, "You had to take that hat off." I'm like, "What? Why?" And in my mind, I thought it was a joke because I had tried to buy a water at concessions, and the concession guy made the same joke. He said, "I'll give you the water if you take your hat off." And I honest to God, thought there was facial recognition in Canada. So I did this. And he went, no, I mean, like, get rid of the Dodgers hat. And I was like, "Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Duh." So I thought it was that joke again. So I was like, "Oh, yeah. Haha." And then she doubled down and she goes, "Seriously, how can you support the Japanese flag?" And I was like, "What do you mean? There's Japanese players on the team. It says Dodgers in katakana." And she's like, "Did you forget World War II?" Now, I don't know what she thought she was cooking in the moment. I really don't know. Because first off, last I remember, it wasn't Pearl Harbor, Canada. 1. 2. This is 100 years ago. What the fuck does Yoshinobu Yamamoto have to do with that? And 3, I'm not about to start a shit flinging contest when I'm from America. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to, because we've flung a lot of shit. You know, we did good in World War II. That was a plus for us. We've had a lot of minuses after that. We've had a lot of minuses after that. So it bothered me. And I think, you know, usually I brush it off. I move on. That's what I usually do. But, you know, Cutie, I think has changed me a bit. She's much more outspoken. If someone says some dumb shit, because I was at like a cafe with her, and someone was being rude to the worker, and we were just in line, and I'm fucking off and nowhere in my head, and Cutie instantly interjects and calls the lady rude for being mean to the worker. And the worker after is like, thank you so much. But like she does it. So I started doing that shit. But not necessarily even from a place of justice. I just thought what she said to me was genuinely the funniest thing I've ever heard. I thought it was very funny. And because I've been filming every moment, I'm not proud of this, but I pulled out the camera and I started filming. And I went, I just heard the funniest thing of all time. This lady behind me said that she doesn't like my hat because remember World War II. Anyway, go Dodgers. And that changed the vibes pretty quick. Because then her husband starts getting involved. Because I'm still filming. Her husband's like, her husband's like, oh, now he's filming you. And so she hides her face. And I'm like, I don't know why you're hiding it. You said it. And he's like, you keep filming. We're going to have to fight. And then I was like, that's okay. I just think this is the funniest thing of all time. And you know what? I also instantly posted it. I instantly went to post it. And then I was like, okay, hold up. Let me cool down. Because you know what honestly changed me? It was like a little after this, we got our first run on the board. I was like, who gives a shit? I'm here for the fucking game. Let me channel all my energy into the Dodgers win. I deleted the clip. Okay, because it wasn't even a clip of her saying it because I wasn't even filming at the moment. It was just me after. And you know the moment the fucking camera goes on, she turned into like just a Victorian victim. Like, oh heavens me. I'm just a simple Blue Jays fan. So I'm like, whatever. I move on with the game. All right. And I'm watching more of the game. The game is electric. It is an electric game. It's stressing me out more than anything. I'm cheering my heart out. And I started to get along, because I need to say this, with everyone in my section. And they were all Blue Jays fans. I got along with all of them. I found out how much season tickets were in that area. Like the guy behind me, he said he had season tickets. They were like $40K a year. And I was like, motherfucker, you can make that back just selling your tickets to like one of the World Series games. And he's like, yeah, but I don't sell them. I like going to every game. What's the point of having a tickets if you sell them? And I was like, real ass fan right there. And then he told me, the guy who owns my tickets, the ones I bought, has all 4 tickets behind the away dugout, sells them for every game, makes hundreds of thousands of dollars just selling his season tickets. It's crazy how much money he made. It might be genius, but I respect the guy who didn't make the hundreds of thousands because he just wanted to watch his team with the best tickets he could get. I think that's cooler. You know, making money's great, but I think the beta scalper isn't as cool as the alpha fan. So the vibe lifts a bit, and the lady goes to do a toast with me. After I have like a nice conversation with a group totally separate to her. And I turn to her, I go, I'm not toasting. I do not want to communicate with you. Let's just watch the game and may the better team win. And then she gets all fucking pissed. And she goes to tap her husband. Because, like, She's mad at me all of a sudden. What did I do? I didn't do shit. Now, bear in mind, by the way, I heard, I think one or maybe two other people be weirdly racist about the Japanese flag on my hat. Let's be very clear about something, okay? Baseball is an international sport. Yes, there's a lot of great Americans. There's some good Canadians, okay? South America, Japan, okay? Some fucking, like, it is not a North American sport anymore. It's not 1935. The Dominican Republic clears. Korea clears. Even the Blue Jays, the Toronto Blue Jays, there's 2 Canadians on the team. And then there's like a Mexican, there's like 8 Americans, there's a Cuban. Like, I don't know why you're drawing the line at there being an incredibly talented Japanese player. It is not bad for the game that there's somebody who's from Japan, who's passionate about baseball, devoted their life to it, and good at the sport now. If anything, it's a good thing for the game. It's a overall good thing. It introduces new people to the sport. It's a very exciting time in baseball because of how many new fans there are, both domestically and abroad. And I don't think the goal of a baseball fan should be, you know, shunning any international players because they're from Japan, especially under the guise that in World War II, we had a conflict with Japan. It makes zero fucking sense at all. It makes zero sense at all. I want to be very clear, though, like, every other Toronto fan was awesome. Every other Toronto fan was fucking amazing. It was not, I don't think it was a Toronto issue. I don't think it was like a Canadian issue. I think it was these 2 people are obviously rich as fuck because I'm in a seat that costs like 10 plus K to be in. They're old as hell. And they're fucking, you know, grumpy and racist. That's it. It is what it is. And so secretly, you know, I want my team to win for many reasons. I want my team to win because I've been watching every game. I'm, you know, just excited to see that happen, to be there. You know, I flew across to another country to see it. I wagered a lot of money. I also wanted them to win just so I could fucking stare at this lady as she walks away with her tail between her legs. I really wanted that. I was feeling really petty. And if you didn't watch the game, holy shit. I was sad that I arrived late. I got there bottom of the 4th inning. There were extra innings in this game. It went to the 11th inning. Okay. I was there an hour late. I still got to see like 3 hours of baseball or whatever. It was a fucking electric game. There was a moment where the Dodgers had the bases loaded and the Blue Jays pitched their way out of it. There was a moment where the Blue Jays, bottom of the 9th, have the bases loaded with 1 out. You know, and then they choke their opportunity to seal the game away. And who but a Japanese guy from Japan, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who, by the way, when he got signed, had a very, very infamous tweet posted about him because he got a $325 million contract. And the tweet said, how do you give a guy $325 million without ever throwing a pitch in the MLB? And then that guy who never threw a pitch in the MLB 2 years ago went on to close out the World Series in the bottom of the 11th.
You're my man.
Off a crazy double play. It was insane. What was so shocking about being there, because I'd never been to an away game before. People, and this sounds obvious. What I'm going to say sounds really obvious. But to me, it wasn't obvious.
Pure cinema.
They really didn't want the Dodgers to win. Now, I know what you're saying. Obviously, they don't want the Dodgers to win. They're Blue Jays fans. But just every time I would cheer, the entire stadium would go quiet, and I would feel like I was cheering at the wrong thing. Like this moment right here was the entire game for me. Because I would start cheering and everyone would be quiet, and I kept thinking like, oh, was it not a home run? Did I miss it? And it was like, oh no, they just fucking absolutely want the Dodgers to lose and fall apart. I'm alone here. But yeah, I was losing it. I was cheering every 5 seconds. I had the fucking Ted Lasso on my phone. I was weeping openly. Kike Hernandez would walk back to the dugout. I'd be like, Kike, believe. You got this, Kike. Ohtani looked at me. Ohtani for sure looked at me. Because Ohtani goes up and I'm like, Ikimasho, Ohtani-sama. And he's like, no, 100%. I'm telling you, bro, when Yamamoto walked back 10th inning, okay, brother, we shared eyes. We shared eyes in that moment. But anyway, the real GOAT. Yeah, he had a big career change after the slap. And the Dodgers end up winning. The Dodgers end up winning after being like absolute dogs with only like a 15% chance. They take it home, bottom of the 11th, extra innings. And you know the first thing I do after they win? I just turn around and stare at that lady till she walks out. I just stare at her as she walks her ass out of Rogers Center, bro. Yes, I am petty, yes. But fuck her, bro. All right? Honestly, I think the karma she put in the world is why her team lost. I'm going to say it. Now, I will say, the Blue Jays rule, like as a team. They're a very cool team. They're also a very sweet team. Their star, Vladdy, is a good guy. I don't know him, but at one of the home games at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, he gave his gloves to like a random kid in my section who's had like a Dodger shirt on, which I thought was very nice. And they also, there's like one of the best pitchers in the Dodgers bullpen, Alex Vesia, who couldn't be there because he had like a family emergency. And so all the Blue Jays players in Game 6 had like his number 51 stitched onto their hats out of like respect for him, which I think was just a cool thing to do. It's a very thoughtful, sweet thing to do. So the series was electric. And, you know, at first I was like, because, you know, when you walk out of the arena, I flew here directly from the airport. I didn't bring a bag. Everything that I was wearing is all that I had. Everything that was on me, like, was all that I brought. I did not bring a toothbrush. I didn't bring a change of clothes. I'm just bringing this because I can't go into the arena with a bag. You know, I have to make sure I have nothing on me. So I was like, oh, fuck. I'm going to be leaving the Rogers Center wearing a Dodgers jersey with a Dodgers hat, with a Dodgers jacket after the Dodgers just beat the Blue Jays. Like an actual fucking piece of shit. Like, oh my God, a drunk Toronto man is going to swing on me. They were so nice. Nobody chirped. They're all like, hell of a series. Hell of a series, Crody, eh? That's kind of what they sounded like. They were all incredibly sweet. And I was like, yeah. And they were like, sad about the ending. I was like, yeah, it was, you know, obviously didn't go your way. He's like, but hell of a series, eh? And I was like, yeah, it was a great. They were more than gracious. They were sweet. I met like a couple fans too. All the fans that I met were awesome. Before and after. Even the guys who said I used to watch you after their team lost were like, hey man, it was still fucking great meeting you. What an awesome game we were able to be here for. So everyone was sick. Hi, girlfriend.
Hi. When was the last time you watered this
Probably a week ago. Yeah, I need to give it some juice.
Well, no, it might be too watered.
No, I don't think it's too watered. I think it's just leaning towards the sun.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
I was just coming to tell you I was home.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice Discord hoodie.
You still sick?
Yeah.
Do I know about the girl at the game? Guys, I know about the girl at the game.
Oh my gosh.
Big drama. He's wiping his nose. He's not. I'm not. Is that Super TF's hoodie? Yeah, I'm wearing my favorite streamer's merch.
Super TF scamming his way to a Marvel Rivals Streamer of the Year award.
You think?
Yeah, because all of his hours are frickin' sponsored.
We'll see if he was entertaining enough. Who knows, you know?
Look, I'm just happy my boy's getting a dub. He could be the GOAT.
You don't know if he's going to freaking get nominated?
Everyone's nominating him.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Consolation winner for being a 4 times loser.
He needs one. Oh yeah, Max needed you
I know,
for something.
he called me.
Oh, okay.
I told him he has the same shot of being gamer as year as me.
Yeah, I don't know why he thinks he's Gamer of the Year.
I don't know how many times he's played games.
I looked through. He has less than like 50 hours in games this year.
He has 50 hours in games this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I think he has like 21 hours in Fortnite. That's his most.
Why do the FaZe boys over enunciate QT? I think they like to say QT instead of calling me a cutie. Because, you know. All right, well, I'm actually going to go live for just a little bit.
Whoa. All right.
You know?
I don't think I'll be live too long because I don't think I'll last that long.
Yeah, I was surprised you were live. Okay, well, I think we need food.
Oh, there's pasta. Oh, you can't pasta. Yeah. There is clam chowder. Oh.
So maybe I'll just order myself food. Are you good with eating leftovers?
Yeah, just do you. I'll eat the leftovers.
Okay, I'll just order myself.
I'll be eating leftovers all day. She's gluten-free.
All right.
All right, G. Love you. I'd kiss you, but I'm sick. I'd kiss you, but I'm ill. I'd kiss you on the mouth, but I'm sick. Ugh. Where was I? Oh, so anyway, Dodgers win. There's like a few phenomenal moments. There's Miguel Rojas's home run. Just to put into context, by the way, if you guys didn't watch the game, if you watch every regular season game, people wanted Miguel Rojas benched like a third of the way through the season. He's like one of the older players on the team. He's been pretty ass the entire year. For the 9th, 1 out already. It's a full count. We're down by 1. If we don't score, it's all over. And apparently, his wife had been telling him, like Dave Roberts told the story, but his wife had been telling him, honey, you're going to hit a home run in the World Series. And he went back to his wife. He went, honey, I'm not even starting. I'm not even playing in the games. And she went, no, don't worry. You're gonna hit a home run. And then eventually, he gets put in. He gets his turn at bat. Baseball is the only sport that feels like whatever has happened is scripted and there's like a fate string being pulled. I feel like that shit doesn't happen as much. Maybe a couple times in football. You know, maybe sometimes in basketball, but it does feel like there's like, maybe just because the power of what one swing can do or one strikeout can do or what an error can do, like how much an individual can change the game. Tied game. We already watched it. Will Smith then hits his home run. Yoshinobu Yamamoto closes out the game. Honestly, not even pitching that great based off of what we expect from him. Is his name actually Will Smith? Yeah, his name's deadass Will Smith. Yeah, I think he was gassed. I'm so happy the game ended when it did, by the way, because Clayton Kershaw was warming up to go out. And if Clayton Kershaw went out, brother, he would have given up a home run first fucking pitch, ruined his legacy forever. The game would have been lost. I'm so happy it ended when it did. Holy shit, man. That would have been Clayton Kershaw, mind you, Hall of Famer. All respect to him. You know, he pitched a great out to save the Dodgers in the 18-inning game, game 3. But when you would just be seeing 80-mile-an-hour fastballs, you know, it would be like, it'd be like going up against Eeyore and Winnie the Pooh baseball. It's like you need Christopher Robin in that moment. Vladdy would have sent that shit fucking through the hotel that lies on the opposite face of Rogers Center. So I'm glad it ended when it did. Now, I stayed after. The game ended. I stayed. Because I'd never been to, you know, a World Series game when your team wins. Was your seat free because of your bet? It was. I had a free seat. I basically just had to pay for the price of my flight. You stayed until 2 a.m.? I stayed until 2 in the morning. I literally stayed until 2 in the morning. And what happens, if you're curious, is the Dodgers all go into their like dugout, and then they go into the changing room. They all put on the ugliest shirt ever fabricated by man. And then they all pour a ridiculous amount of champagne on themselves.
Do we got everybody's Mookie here? Shohei here? Mookie's working.
And then they walk back out to all take pictures with the trophy. It really is just one of the ugliest shirts I've ever seen in my life. On the back, it says Champions of October. This game took place in November. Look, I know they say October, but it just was November. And so while I'm staying there, there's a kid next to me. There's a kid next to me after the team wins, and he's asking everyone who walks by, because we're right in front of the dugout. Everyone walks by, he says, "Can I get a ball?" This is a little kid. And here's the thing about little kids at baseball games: they're a broken superpower. They can just ask for shit and they get it, right? I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Hey, can I get a ball?" And it's like, "Ooh, HR." And then the little kid's like, "Can I get a ball?" And then it's like, "Oh, he's so sweet." And so he's trying to get this ball, And then I get called over. I hear like a voice. And it's like, what do I look over, and it's this girl. And she's sitting like in the behind home plate area. And she lifts up a ball to me. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to give it to the kid." And she's like, "That kid's a scalper." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, that kid's for sure there with his dad just scalping that shit." I was like, all right. So I shoved that shit in my pocket. I walked by the kid. I don't say a fucking word to him. I go, "Hey, keep it up, sport. You'll get a ball eventually." Don't show him the ball. And then I'm able to, through this person who I don't know, sneak to the behind home plate section. She like asked the security guard lets me through. Now, this is a viewer. Her name's Danny. And I did not know who she was. I was like, "Oh, it's a viewer who had like really nice tickets." And then like Mookie Betts walks out the dugout. And she's like, "Mookie." And Mookie Betts turns around and he goes like, "Oh shit, yo, what up, Danny?" And I was like, what's going on right now? Because that doesn't normally happen. I try. Ludwig from video games. Mookie doesn't look around. I'm like, okay. No, something's going on here. How do you have this much motion? I come to find out Danny is possibly the weirdest sports fan on earth. I think possibly the weirdest sports fan on earth. Her father has season tickets behind home plate. He has gone to, I think it's like 681 consecutive home games over the course of 10 years. An amazing streak. She goes to every single home game rooting for whoever is playing against the Blue Jays. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I go to every game and I have the jersey of whoever the Blue Jays are playing that week. I was like, this is insane. This is crazy. She's like, yeah, it's what I do. I was like, that's insane. But because she's gone to so many games and because she has interacted with players, like some of the players recognize her and she has some broken strategies. If you were to watch very closely, Mookie Betts during the game was wearing a bracelet. It was like a Taylor Swift-esque bracelet. Danny made the bracelet. Apparently, broken tech, you can make a bracelet and then be like, hey, which bracelet do you want? And a lot of the players will just take one. They're kind of down. So she's making them all like custom bracelets. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. I don't know how she got this ball, mind you. I don't know where the fuck she pulled this out of. This looks like some fouled off ball or whatever. But I'm like holding the ball and I'm like, man, it'd be cool to have an autograph. As I say that, Blake Snell, who is the current highest paid pitcher this year on the Dodgers roster, the guy who played Game 7, I think, Snellzilla. You guys know Blake Snell. I see him because I hear him in conversation with Danny's dad. And brother, I'm not kidding you. They're talking like they used to go be in a frat together. Snell's like, yeah, good game out there. And then her dad's a Blue Jays fan. He's like, yeah, I cooked us those few innings. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, Sir Snell, could I perhaps have an autograph? And he looked at Danny for the okay. And he's like, after they gave him the nod, then he signed it. I've never felt true aura till this. I mean, I don't mind if I'm getting mogged. I'm getting a signed World Series ball. And then I see Hae-Sung Kim. I learned a new strategy. You throw the ball at him. Broken strategy number 2. You say, hey, can you sign this? You throw them the ball. They catch the ball. You throw the marker. Boom, they're signing that shit. Broken strategy number 2. And I got Hae-Sung Kim. Breathtaking man, by the way. And that's how I got this World Series ball. That shit was awesome. So anyway, shout out Danny. I don't even think she watches my content, to be honest. I think she just knows who I am. I'll take it. I'm not greedy. Now that you're a baseball fan, watch Moneyball. I've seen Moneyball. And I literally had a thought to myself like 3 times. And I was like, we should Moneyball League of Legends. That's what I keep saying that to myself. I don't know what it means yet, but I keep saying we need to Moneyball League of Legends. I think North America needs to Moneyball League of Legends. We're working on that right now. Let me tell you, Shopify Rebellion, we're going to Moneyball League of Legends. You're going to see us in the finals, y'all. We're going to Moneyball that shit. $500 for Faker? No, that's the whole point, is that you don't pay for Faker. You pay for somebody with like 3 fingers. Like 3-finger player, and you sign them on your team. But they're really good at CSing or some shit. Watch Tim's video. He didn't send me a video. But anyway, after the flight, or excuse me, after the game, it's like 2 a.m. It's daylight savings, thankfully, which saves me a bit. Check chat. Oh, wait, where is it here?
Up and in.
By the way, I am a die-hard Angels fan. I'm probably the biggest Angels fan who has never, ever watched an Angels fan on TV, but has seen an Angels fan in person. I think I'm probably the biggest one. There's not many of us. It's a very small group of people, but that is my team. Turns out they're dog shit.
Hold up. Let the record show. This stream, I was LARPing as XQC the entire time. Not a bandwagon fan. I was LARPing as XQC the entire time. This stream was not a genuine stream. This is out of context. I was copying XQC the entire time. This is the stream that I delayed 18 hours and then I did whatever he was doing on the stream. Let the record show. Anyway, after the game ended, I realized I never bought a hotel. So I walked into the first hotel that I saw and I was like, "Hey, can I get a room?" And they laughed. They're like, "Fuck no. It's booked." And I was like, "Oh." So I did that like 3 times. And eventually I got into a hotel and the guy who was working there, he was like, "Oh shit, Ludwig?" And I was like, "Yeah. Can I get a room?" He's like, "Fuck no, we're full, but I can maybe find you a room at a different hotel." And they had like a sister hotel by the airport. So I got a hotel by the airport, which was sick anyway, because I had a flight early in the morning at like 10 a.m. And I ran into an issue that I want to fucking complain about because I made a mistake and I hope you guys never mistake it or make this mistake that I did. There are certain times where an airline offers a flight that is operated by a different airline. Never buy it from anyone but the people who are actually operating the flight. Let me give you the example. I bought an Air Canada flight operated by Air Canada through United Airlines. Why did I do this? Because I like turning points. I wanted to buy it in the app. I wanted to get my points for United Airlines. So I bought it on the United app. Okay? This is an Air Canada flight. I buy it on the United app. After I buy it, it says check in. I go to check in. It says you cannot check in. You have to check in through the people operating this flight. We're not operating this flight. I go, that's fine. I go to Air Canada's website. I say check in. They say you cannot check in. It looks like you purchased this flight through a different carrier. You have to go to that carrier. And I'm like, well, hold up. You're both telling me that I'm at the wrong place. You know, it says go to the airport. Okay, so I say fine. I'll go to the airport. I'll go to the airport. So I go to the airport. You know, wake up. I stayed up watching T1 win. I was watching Worlds. I go to the airport. I'm there at like 8:45. My flight leaves at like 10. I have no luggage. I'm like, this should be fine. I stand in line because the kiosk doesn't work at the Air Canada line. I stand in the Air Canada line. This was my mistake. I get through the entire line. And at the very end of the line, they go, you're going to have to go to the United line. And she just points to like across the way. So I go to the United line. A little bit of a line is formed. At this point, it's like 9:05. 20 minutes have passed. I'm like, whatever, should be fine still. I finally get through the United line. I'm like, hello, can I get my ticket? And she goes, you're on the 10 o'clock flight? I'm like, yes. She's like, impossible. What? She's like, you're trying to get your ticket, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, impossible. Why? Well, your flight leaves at 10 o'clock and we don't print tickets within an hour of the flight leaving. What? I just need my ticket. I'll get through security. I promise. She's like, it's impossible. I'm like, what do you mean? It's impossible. I bought the ticket. It's possible. So then, not wanting to argue, she's like, they can rebook you over at Air Canada. She sends me back to the other fucking line. She says, go to Air Canada, they'll rebook you. I'm like, really? They'll rebook me? I ignore all this because I know how it actually works. There are useful people in an airport. They're at the gate. They're the only people at the airport who know what the fuck is going on. Everybody else is just trying to get the person in front of them out of their face. That's it. Okay? The only people who actually fucking know what the hell is happening and can actually make shit move live at the gate. So I buy a ticket that will bring me to my gate. This is genius. This is genius. I buy a ticket that'll bring me to my gate. So I get a ticket and it has free cancellation within 24 hours. I bought a random ticket. And I go to the gate and I go, hey, can I get this ticket? Or can I get through here? And he goes, oh, no, you can't. This is section F. That's for section D. And I'm like, well, can I get through section F and then just go to section D? He's like, no. Because what I forgot, this is an international flight. And the section that I'm going in is technically America. Like, although all that separates section D and section F is a glass pane, you go through customs, so you are technically in America. So you're not allowed to be in section F if you're going on a section D flight or whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So what flight could get me here? And I'm asking the guy, and he's like, a flight to New York. So I buy a flight to New York. I cancel the flight. I get my refund. I buy a flight to New York. I go, can I go now? He scans it. He goes, no, that New York one's section D as well. And I'm like, okay, what are you doing to me? He was like, yeah, it's the other New York one. I didn't know. I just the other New York one. Obviously, it's the other New York. Okay. So at this point, it's too late to make the flight. Now, luckily, there's like a noon flight. There's a noon flight. I can go into the airport as a walk-on if I get the noon flight. So I at this point, I've canceled every single flight. I've canceled all flights. I've gotten a refund on all of them, mind you. And I get one flight that I know gets me into section F. It's like some throwaway flight at 9 p.m. Okay, and I've looked and I've made sure it's in the correct gate, and I'm walking through. And then while I'm walking through customs, they stop me. And the lady says, she goes, your flight is too late. Rebook it for an earlier one. I was like, what? Yeah, she's like, just go back there. They'll tell you. I'm like, what do you... So I go down. I'm like, I was told to rebook my flight for an earlier one. Apparently, this has been long-running beef. And because the guy goes, she's doing this shit again. And I'm like, and then he's like, come with me. And then I walk with him. And then he's like, what did I tell you? You have to let them through. Doesn't matter how late it is. And then she's like, you didn't tell me anything. So don't talk to me like that because you didn't tell me anything. And he's like, well, I didn't tell you, but I told your group. That's not me, is it? That's not me, is it? And he's like, get your manager. And she's like, oh, I've already got my manager. And then the manager comes up and he's like, so what's up? And then the guy's changed his tone. The guy started real tough. He goes, sorry. So I spoke with you and I several times about how you, and it's not her fault, but you need to train your agents that they have to let them through because he's allowed to be here for his late flight. And the whole time I'm sitting there like, I'm going to cancel this flight the moment I get through. This flight is going to Iowa. I'm sorry, but I don't say any of this. I'm just like, I'm going to Iowa at 9 p.m. I'm causing workplace ruckus. So I go through security. I go through customs. I am now technically in America. I am technically in America here. And then I go to the gate. And the issue is I got there at like 10 o'clock. The flight's at 12:45. My flight isn't at the gate yet. It's like a San Francisco flight at the gate. So I'm asking the gate agent, I'm like, hey, when are they going to be here? Like for my flight. She's like 11:45. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I go to Tim Hortons. It's pretty good. I come back. I wait. 11:45 hits. During this time, I know that I said I was done gambling on Robinhood. I bet on every single NFL game $100 to see how well I actually was or how good I actually was at gambling. I bet on all the Sunday and Monday games. I bet $100 on every single one. I have since pulled out all my money from Robinhood and deleted the app. It was my final bet. How'd it go? I lost I made like a 90% return. So for like the 16 or 1400 I put in, I made back like 1200 or something. I got like half of them right. I did as good as a coin would do, basically. I lost money. All right, is that what you want to hear? I fucking lost money. I'm not good at gambling. I lost money. So anyway, the gate agent's there. I'm like, hello, can I be a standby for this flight? She's like, it's a full flight. I'm like, that's okay. I'll just be a standby. And if I can't get on, that's fine. And she's like, okay, let me scan your ticket because I need to swap the ticket you have. And I'm like, ooh. So she scans it and she's like, Iowa? And I'm like, well, I had a different ticket. And she's like, I can't swap Iowa. And I was like, could you please? He's like, I literally just can't. No, I can't swap Iowa. I basically needed to keep my 10 a.m. ticket that I canceled to get a refund to swap to LA. So she's like, you're going to have to go to customer service. So I'm like, fuck me. It's like 12 o'clock or some shit. I go to customer service. There's a line. I meet a fan there. His mother speaks nothing but Mandarin. I heard her. I was listening in. I was like, shishani. Okay, I got that. Everything else, understood nothing. And the customer service lady, the most helpful person I've ever met at the airport. I have never had an experience so great in my life. I explained everything to her. I told her about the 10 a.m. I told her how I tried to scam my way through. I told her why I had the Iowa flight. And she was like, oh, okay. Well, I'll just book you for LA at 6 p.m. and then I'll rebook you as a standby for 12:45. And she not only got me as a standby, she got me a seat on that flight. And I was like, this is amazing. And so I'm walking back. I'm clicking my heels on the way back. And it's kind of a long walk. So I'm clicking my fucking heels. I'm like filming a fucking TikTok on the way. I'm like bullshitting around. I see a neck pillow store. I'm like, why not splurge? I buy myself a neck pillow. I get to the gate. And I'm like, one ticket for flight at 12:45. And the lady's like, where are you? We've been searching for you. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, it's closed. I'm like, what? She's like, yes, we closed the gate. We were searching for you. I ran. I was like, what do you mean it's closed? I was here. You know I was here. She's like, I knew you were here, but we closed it. I was like, what do you mean? I collapsed. It's the first time I've ever collapsed at an airport. That one song was playing in my head. I collapsed. I was like, ow, I'm such an idiot. I kept saying that. I kept saying, I'm such an idiot. And then she went to like touch me on the shoulder, but I think I was like too pitiful that she didn't even touch me. She just like went down. She went, we rebooked you for 6. And I just kept going, I'm such an idiot. I felt like such a fucking lol cow. I felt like such a fat chungus. And so then I start moping around the airport with my stupid neck pillow. And I see there's one other flight I could be a standby on for 3 p.m. So I mope my way over and I go over and it's a United flight. And I look around and I don't see a United customer service desk. So I go to an Air Canada flight to like Seattle. I'm like, hey, where's the United customer service desk? And she laughs. She goes, they don't have one. I was like, what? She's like, yeah. So I'm like, what do you do? She's like, find a United employee. I'm like, what? United is not really doing much at the Toronto airport. I have to find a United airline rep. I just have to find one. Okay. So I'm like now stalking people. I'm like looking around. Eventually I find one. And I'm like, hey, could I be a standby for the 3 p.m. flight to Los Angeles? And she literally goes like this. She goes, no. Nice try. And I'm like, I'll be a standby. If I can't get on, that's okay. I'll just go to my flight. And she goes, no, honey, you don't understand. This is a chartered flight. And I went, I for sure don't understand, because what does that mean? And she went, let's just say that somebody has chartered this flight for themselves. It's private. You cannot get on here. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Fuck my chungus life. So I sit down just at a fucking random ass bar next to this terminal. And I'm just fucking sitting there drinking an iced tea, watching football on Buff streams. And then a lot of people in Dodgers gear start to show up. Hell of a game last night. Yeah, absolutely. Bottom of the 11th, you would not fucking believe what I said right before Yoshi struck him out. I'm looking around. I'm like, what the fuck is all this? And I'm quickly piecing together. This is a chartered flight by the Dodgers to get back to Los Angeles. I've wandered my way in to the inner circle, and they're all hanging out at this lounge that I was the only one sitting at like an hour before they arrived. So I'm piecing this all together. A guy sits down next to me, and I'm like, I'm trying to play it cool. I'm like, so what do you do? And he's like, assistant pitching coach. And I'm like trying to be chill about it. I'm watching the game on my phone. I'm like, so how'd you get Roki's pitch back? And he's like, man, let me rest. I was like, okay, my bad. My bad. And so he's like, what do you do? And I was like, YouTuber. And that always gets a little bit of a perk. And he's like, what do you do? And I was like, gaming. And he's like, what game do you play? What game are you best at? And I was like, I don't want to answer that. And he's like, well, no, like, what do you play? I was like, well, I do like challenge games, like where there's a mountain with no checkpoints. You have to climb to the top of the mountain. And he's like, oh, like Overwatch? And I was like, yeah, because I didn't want to explain how that's not close. And guess who fucking shows up, bro, to this section? But all the coaching staff, wives and kids of the players. Now, spoilers, Shohei did not show up. The players had taken a private, like, Delta flight from a private terminal separate of the staff. They're not going through airport security. But it's still pretty fucking cool because it's like Dave Roberts. It's the broadcaster. It's the actual like broadcasters who broadcast the game. Like they have the radio broadcasting team there. Yeah, they're all there. And I'm playing it very cool. I'm playing it very cool right now. Let me see if I can find the name of the guy who I talked with. I talked to one guy for like a damn minute. It wasn't Dave Roberts. It was one of the guys who did broadcasts. And we just talked about good places to get burgers. Because I heard them talking about it. Like one guy was giving burger Rex. I was so crazy. He was giving burger Rex and he goes,
Wowee.
yeah, For the Win is pretty good. And I chuckle. I go, yeah, I guess. He goes, excuse me? I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty good burger place, but like if you're gonna go for Smash Burger, I'd go for Burger She Wrote. I had to weasel my way in. By the way, For the Win's probably better than Burger She Wrote. I just needed to say some shit. I just had to be a ball knower in that moment. So anyway, it was cool. I got to meet a lot of them. I shot the shit. I played it cool. I didn't ask anyone for anything. I just said hello. And then they all went on the flight. Okay, we went our separate ways. I went back to my terminal. And you didn't ask? I didn't ask for a picture, no. I didn't ask for a picture and I didn't ask for an autograph. Look, they just won the World Series. It's the day after basically a month of locking in postseason. You didn't ask to go on the flight? Oh, yeah, I 100% did. Oh, my God, yeah, sorry, I forgot. There was a staff member at the airport who recognized me. And I said, how you get on this flight? And he says, you have to be accepted by one of the Dodgers staff. And so I jokingly asked, hey, can I get on this flight? And they said, no. They said, no, obviously. Obviously not. So I was like, yeah, of course. I was kidding. Definitely check out Burger She Wrote. It's awesome. And I go back to my section. And then I have a crazy interaction. I go back to my section. And I'm wearing my Dodgers gear. And this guy comes up to me. And he gives me a fist bump. And I'm sitting next to this random guy because we're both next to a charging port. And he comes up to me and he gives me a fist bump and he says, "Go Dodgers. Fucking amazing game." And I was like, yeah, that game was awesome. And he was like, seriously, that game ruled. And I was like, that game ripped. And we were talking about like specific moments. And I was like, that double play, bottom of the ninth. And then the guy next to me finally speaks and he's like, it wasn't a double play. And I was like, it wasn't? He's like, I would know. I'm a Blue Jays fan. And I was like, oh, my bad. And then we just got, it's just some casual conversation. And then, they're like, what do you do? And so I'm like, I'm a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber. And then they ask the questions. They're like, oh yeah, what do you do for YouTube? And I'm like, yeah, and they're like, oh, it's cool, it's cool. And then the guy across from me, he goes, yeah, I'm an actor. And I was like, oh, yeah, anything I would have heard of? The Pit. I was like, oh, okay. I guess that's cool. And then we turn to the guy next to us, the Canadian. And we're both like, well, so what do you do? And he sits there for a moment. And he's like, it's not as cool. I'm a brain surgeon. What do you mean? You're a brain surgeon? And obviously brain surgeon fucking wins. Obviously brain surgeon wins this fight. It's the cooler business card. Okay, Paul Allen had the cooler business card that day. And I'm like, oh, that job's so awesome. And he's like, no, he's being a fucking brain surgeon about it. He's like, no, it has its stresses like any other job. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I'm mad if I get a 10 out of 10 on a YouTube video. You're saving someone's life or they're dying on the operating table. The stakes aren't the same. They're just not. They're not. But anyway, we're in a group chat now. Me and my boys are in a group chat. It was random as hell. The actor was like, hey, let me get your numbers. I'm going to make a group chat. I'm going to call it the Brain Surgeon Dodgers. And I was like, that for sure was not thought of very thoroughly. But I'll accept this. And we got on the flight. And I can tell you the order of superiority. because the brain surgeon, we all walk on together. He's like, I should have gone for the earlier zone, but I don't really care about zones. Sits in the very front of the plane. Me, I'm at like row 30. The actor, keep walking, buddy, way back of the plane. A hierarchy has been formed on this day. So I sit in my seat. I'm trying to watch Sunday Night Football. I think at this point it was, it was maybe the 4 o'clock still. It was like the Bills Chiefs game, but the internet's not really working. So I'm like, whatever. Fall asleep for a bit. I wake up and like there's this woman sitting next to me, and I see she's watching, she's watching Mickey 17, but with Mandarin subtitles. Because I recognize like a couple of the characters. And I'm like, like, okay, maybe. But I don't say anything. I'm just chilling. And then she strikes up a conversation. She's like, oh, you go to the game? And I'm like, oh, yeah. And then, we speak a little bit. And we get to talking. She's like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm a YouTuber. He's like, oh, that's cool. And then she like tells me what she does. She does like stuff in photography. And then I go, I'm trying to work on a little bit of Mandarin myself, actually. She goes, oh, I'd love to hear it. And I drop the one line I know. And before I can even get the whole fucking sentence out, she just starts laughing. And she doesn't stop laughing at me. She just keeps laughing at me. And she's like, that's all you got? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, that's horrible. That is truly horrible. Anyway, she tells me she visits Toronto because her boyfriend's there. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I came for the game and we're talking about our lives or whatever. And this is the first time in my life. It's a true story. First time. Because we're just talking. And she's talking about how she had a big shift in her life. She's telling me about I'm going to put her ex on blast. She goes, hypothetically, if you were dating someone, let's stop. Let's say if you were married to someone, but they slept in the same bed as their mother, would that be weird? And I was like, yes, that would be fucking crazy. And I was like, pause, how old? 28. What? What do you mean 28? And she tells me about how she was married to this guy who the three of them lived together, husband, wife, the woman I was talking to, and mother-in-law. And the mother-in-law at night would sleep in the same bed as the son. And I asked, and I was like, were they doing shit? Because it's, and she was like, no, I really don't think so. I think she was just like possessive over the child. She's like mother-in-law from hell and wasn't ready to see her boy married and was pulling him away from her, and he was down for it. And I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy. And when she's like, well, yeah, that's why we divorced. But apparently she was like, he has two good qualities. And I low-key, I was trying to like piece together some rationale. I was like, well, perhaps, maybe taking care of your parents, it's more, because we were talking about like the difference between Eastern and Western culture. I was like, it's more common, in Eastern culture. And then she thought about it. She's like, yeah, he was French. I was like, oh no. Oh no, not the French again. Not the French. The ancestral French. I did not bring up my grandparents being cousins. No, that did not come up. I did not bring that up. And she's like, yeah, but he had two great qualities. First off, he was a nice guy. But his first real great quality, he was amazing at video games. And I was like, oh, what games did he play? And she was like, it's a game where you're a monster and you put somebody on hooks. And I'm like, now the dots are piecing together. Of course, the Dead by Daylight player is sleeping in the bed with his mom. It all links together. We are getting there. That's a vintage French Dead by Daylight fan. And I was like, what's the second quality? And she's like, well, he introduced me to the church. And I will always be appreciative of that. And I was like, oh, okay. That's cool. You like God. She's like, oh, no. I'm a Scientologist. What? I have never, until this point in my life, met somebody in the Church of Scientology. Like most of you, my entire knowledge of it consists of it's a cult, L. Ron Hubbard, Tom Cruise, space creature from South Park. And that's it. That's all I got. That's basically, I don't have any knowledge past that. My knowledge starts and ends at those 4 beats. And so I'm like, now I'm curious. I'm like, I have to know. I'm like, what is it? And I'm trying to honestly be like, open. I'm not being judgmental here because I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know what experience she has had in it. And I don't want to, just be judgmental without like hearing someone's own lived experiences. That wouldn't be fair to them. So anyway, I'm in the church now. No, that's not it. But I was like, okay, why? Like, what do you like? Why are you in it? And she's like, well, the way I would describe it, this is how she described it. She was like, it's a school, and basically you go whenever you want, and you get out of it what you put into it. And I was like, okay. And she's like, yeah, so it's like a place to learn. And so I was like, is there God? And she's like, no God. I was like, no God? She's like, no God. And I was like, but there's alien, right? And she's like, there's no alien. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's alien. And she's like, there's no alien. I'm like, all right, there's no alien. Like, I don't have enough knowledge. And so I'm like, you're describing a social club? That's what I said. I'm like, this sounds like one of those nerdy frats, like one of those math frats where you get together and because I'm like, you must pay money, right? And she's like, there are dues, you pay money, but you pay based off also your attendance. So I'm like, this sounds like one of those math frats. It sounds like a place to go. You pay money to go, and then you meet people who are also in it, and it sounds like really a social, if maybe a generous interpretation, clique, a less generous cult. And so I'm like, what's something you learn? Like, what's something you learn doing it? And she gave me this example. I've never looked this up. I've just heard about it here. But she was like, okay, there was a war in Colombia, a civil war. She said, I think it was Colombia. And the country was very poor. People weren't very knowledgeable at the time because they weren't able to go to school because there was a war going on. And so what the Scientology church did is they dropped millions of pamphlets that would teach people things like get food for yourself, keep your hygiene up, you'll be happier, and like simple steps. And you can literally see from when the Scientology church did this, the general happiness went up and the war stopped. And now people in Colombia love Scientology. I have done zero research on this. But I was like, oh, so like when the Scientology Pope shows up, they go crazy? She's like, they go crazy for him. And I was like, all right, fair enough. So you basically go in to the church and you learn. And I was like, but you must level up, right? And she's like, yeah, it's kind of like you go up, there's grades. I don't know what the actual terms are, but she's like, yeah, you start like you have to learn 5th grade knowledge. You have to start in 1st grade and go through 2, 3, 4 and get to 5th grade. And the whole time I'm thinking like, first off, I'm not doubting her lived experience. But I was thinking, I was like, there must be maybe outside of knowledge, power, status gained from being high up in the church. Like that must be, because I couldn't stop thinking about Tom fucking Cruise. That's all I could think about the entire time. But I will say, no shade to her. She was awesome. She was cool. She was cool as shit. I'm not joining Scientology. She did not try to get me to join. But it is the first time in my life I've ever met someone in the church, which is crazy. If you've never been to LA, the church has some money. They have a movie studio. They have an entire street in LA. Like the entire street is just, it looks like a college campus. But I have seen videos of people jumping from the walls inside the church out. And let me tell you, they don't look pumped to be there. Anyway, I'm now announcing my 1-year undercover in the Scientology church video. She heard your Mandarin and decided not to recruit. If I were to go to the Scientology classes to learn Mandarin, I'd learn it tomorrow, bro. Because you get that expedited knowledge. You'd be dead in a year, or I'd be in Top Gun 3, yeah. And that's not a bad coin flip to take in life. Anyway, we get off the plane. And I make my way home. I take a bath. You know, relive some of the highlights from the game. I wake up this morning. I'm fucking sick. I am sick as shit. It feels like every swallow is just deep throating a knife. It is a sad fucking life I am leading. So I did not get to go to the Dodgers parade today. They had a parade through Los Angeles and at Dodger Stadium. I did not go. I skipped the yard today as well. But that shit was fucking, it seemed pretty fucking awesome. And, I'll tell you, it was a great experience. And I'm now going to be a lifelong baseball fan. The one thing I saw at baseball games, which I think is not exclusive to baseball, but more common in baseball, is how many dads go with their kids. And now I never got to experience that, not just because my dad died, but also because he was Swedish and he liked curling, not baseball, because Swedish people don't play baseball. But I'm ready to be a fucking baseball dad. I'm ready to throw 70-mile-an-hour balls at my kid. And I am excited for the World Baseball Classic. I am excited for that. That shit is going to be awesome. That's, chat, that's just in a few months. The actual World Series. They're playing in Puerto Rico, Houston, Texas, Tokyo, Japan, and Miami, Florida. Let's take a look. Where we at? U.S. is playing Brazil. UK. Wait, what's... This is all Miami, right? When are we playing Japan? We're not playing Japan? Oh, we'll play them outside group stage, I guess. USA versus Japan is going to go crazy. Canada's also going to go crazy. Does the UK have baseball players? Apparently. But I think the real hitters are USA, Japan, Canada, Cuba, Mexico's, Dominican Republic, Korea. Korea's pretty good, I think, yeah. Italy's got to be like dog shit from an ass. I can't believe Italy will do well. I think the Israeli baseball team is going to get cooked. I don't buy that. I do not buy that shit. There is no universe. I could be wrong. I just don't think them and the Italians are going to be showing up to the World Baseball Classic. They drop bombs. Okay. That's crazy. All right. Chat. I figure we should go through the subreddit. There's been a lot of folks posts over the past week. Let's take a look. Boys. Let's take a look at the subreddit, boys. Lud on broadcast. No phone this time. I was off the phone. And part of that was because I thought that you guys would see me on TV, and if I had my phone, you would make fun of me. Part of that is because I had my bet open on my phone the entire time. Just looking at my odds, seeing if I should sell. No, this is not the Karen. Do not try to find the Karen. This lady's actually really nice. Because apparently the 7th inning stretch is different in the 7th inning stretch is different in Canada. They don't just sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." They sing like a Canadian song. So proud of the no phone. He is wearing the Peace Slayer jersey. Oh yeah, I was wearing my Pussy Slayer jersey that I got for my birthday, and the guy behind me loved it. After the game ended, he said, "Can I take a picture with your jersey?" I said, "Sure." And he's like, "Peace Slayer, that's a riot." He loved that shit. Bro is Shohei's biggest fan. I am a big Shohei fan, but I also got a Yamamoto signed jersey. I don't have a Shohei signed jersey. And I had that, by the way. I did not get this after the World Series. I've had this for like a year. What? Only Japanese players? Hold up, I got a Blake Snell
You
side
and
ball.
Kershaw have the same body. Interesting.
It is true. Bro is actually fell in love with baseball. I will say baseball rules. Baseball playoffs are awesome because every at-bat matters. And I also think like baseball games in person are just like a great experience. Because I've gone to basketball games in person, but I don't like them as much. I think the experience you get watching it on TV is like sometimes better because just the view is so much better. But going to a baseball game in person, I think hits the best. Football's tough too. NFL's a bit tough. Just because the play can happen opposite side of where you're at. I think football is better on TV. But I haven't been to that many football games, to be fair.
Hey lad. You ever been to Fulcino's in Hollis? What a hidden New England gem. As a New Hampshire Red Sox fan, I am happy for you.
Fulcino?
Go Pats.
I don't know what that is. Fulcino? I don't think I know what that is. I feel like I should know what that is, though. Kill, fuck, marry, Lakers, Dodgers, Patriots. I'd kill the Lakers. I would fuck the Dodgers. I'd marry the Patriots. Look, I like baseball, but that's the New England Patriots. I got to give respect. Also, Drake May is the GOAT. Drake May might go down as MVP this season, bro.
But with our first round pick, we drafted Drake May. Yes, there were times, more than a few. Drake made mistakes, but I always knew that through it all, when there was doubt, Drake May was
Mickey
there.
Mouse schedule, we beat the Bills. We beat the Bills, who, by the way, just beat the Chiefs. We beat the Bills.
To bail us out, he's got it all, handsome and tall. His name is Drake May.
Lud on broadcast, no phone. True. Did you mean? Would Ludwig care about the Dodgers if Shohei wasn't Japanese? It is highly unlikely that the streamer Ludwig Ogren would care about the Dodgers if Shohei Ohtani were not Japanese, as his support is specifically tied to Ohtani and other Japanese players like Yoshinobu Yamamoto. It's 100% true. I would not have got into baseball. 100% true. But it's also like would you be a basketball fan if Jordan didn't exist? Like, Shohei Ohtani is going to be a once-in-a-generation funnel for people to get into the sport of baseball. Not too dissimilar from the Smash Talk getting people into Smash Bros. or Jordan getting people into basketball or whatever it is. Like, the influx of fans it's going to be a generation of people who got in. Yeah, like Caitlin Clark for the WNBA. Brother, we are talking about the greatest player to ever play the sport, who is alive at the same time.
What are your thoughts on the MLB implementing a salary cap?
Salary cap? I mean, I think it'd be dumb. I think they don't need to add a salary cap. I think they need to I think they have to remove deferment. I think it's stupid, it's cheese to be able to defer a salary rather than spread it evenly. Like, that shit's kind of cheese, I think. They need a salary floor. Yeah, like, there's a chart that shows you teams in the MLB and who spends the most money and who wins each year. And let me tell you, it's not always the team that wins the most. But there's also a chart that shows you the revenue MLB versus money spent. Some teams are greedy as fuck. Some teams are just greedy as absolute shit. So, like, this shows you their revenue, and then in 2024, and then their 2025 payroll and tax. And then this is like the percent that they spend from the revenue on their payroll, right? And ideally, you want that percent to be higher than lower. Some teams are greedy as shit. Some teams are just pocketing hundreds of millions of dollars. $27% is insane. That's embarrassing. The Red Sox, I was even surprised by. They're not even spending half their money. The Yankees make so much. The Yankees do make so much. The Yankees make so much. And they're keeping so much. Yeah, I mean, the Yankees hat is probably the most sold hat in the world. It's probably number one. Are you going to watch a history of the Seattle Mariners by Dorktown and make the M's your AL team to root for? I don't think I'll get an AL team to root for. I won't lie. It was really hard to keep up with the NL as is. You're my 25th favorite member of the yard. What did you guys say? Upvote to rage bait him. Successfully rage baited. Can this be on Google Images when you search up Ludwig? And the sky is blue. I actually believe this. Clanker nailed it. Bro, I used to rep an Angels jersey. Okay, it's so disingenuous. I used to rep an Ohtani jersey. From the one Angels game I went to. You're acting like I had a Mike Trout jersey that I threw it in the trash and I swapped to Ohtani. I also have his jersey from the Japanese national team and his jersey from the Nippon Ham Fighters. But no one brings up how I left the Nippon Ham Fighters to start watching the Dodgers. Nobody brings that up. I haven't watched the Nippon Ham Fighters in months now. Years. So you're saying you switched up twice? 3 times if you're counting. Lone Dodgers fan celebrates World Series winning home run. You think our boy is excited? The boy is excited about the Will Smith homer. I was. Let me tell you, it was me and these guys on the end, and that was it. But yeah, I was cheering. I was yelling. I lost my voice. Matthew, thank you for the prime. Ludwig spotted. I like how it's just people taking pictures on their phone of me on the TV. Deep behind enemy lines. I hope he's having a good time. I hope he has a terrible time. I had a good time. At least he gets to experience an actual fan base with an electric atmosphere. Look, I will say this about the Dodgers. The Dodgers fans who go to games, they don't show up that much, bro. They do not show up that much. They're like you? No, because I stand and I yell. Okay? I'm just saying there's a lot of empty seats when I go to games. Because here's the thing. Dodgers, they do a lot. They do a lot of advertising to get people to games. Basically, every single game, there's like a special event. It's usually like a drop. And the first, 20,000 people go to the arena, get the drop. For example, this was a drop. If you went to the One Piece night game, you would get a free Monkey D. Luffy hat, right? Which is kind of cool. So they would get people to go to the games doing this, right? But then what happens, a lot of people go to the game, they get the drop, and then they leave. Because you can sell, a lot of the times, the free item for as much, if not more, than the price of a ticket. So they'll buy multiple tickets and then just farm items and then leave. So I think that happens a lot. But I think there's a lot of diehard Dodgers fans. I think they're just priced out of going to games because tickets are just exorbitantly expensive. Not only are tickets expensive, it's impossible to get into Dodger Stadium without, it's so fucking hard. They have a bus that goes from Union Station, but you outside of that, you have to drive. If you're not near Union Station, walking is it's just a straight up mile uphill. Parking is insanely expensive. The traffic is crazy. It's just prohibitive for a lot of real fans. The Toronto Stadium was really cool. The Toronto Stadium rules. I was a huge fan of it. It's way loud in there too. I think because it's it was closed, but also it's quite small because there's not a big outfield. It's also just right. It's downtown as it gets. It is so conveniently downtown. Gamer posture in full effect at the World Series. Dude, it's not even bad. I think this is game 5, right? Yeah. I hate Will Smith. Please, Jays, I need this. Shout out Will Smith. You did not get it, buddy. You did not get it, buddy. Sorry to say. As a Pirates fan who's sick of being tortured by the worst ownership in pro sports, I've hopped on the Dodgers bandwagon because fuck it. If the Pirates won't spend money, then I'll cheer for someone willing to. What do you mean? The Pirates literally spent 30% of their revenue on salaries. What more do you expect? You want them to spend 40? Like, what the hell are the poor owners supposed to do? The greedy players are taking money from the owners. Hashtag fuck Ludwig. Okay. Bro, the gambling epidemic is worse than you think, and it has a Kalshi ad. Okay. So I made a video talking about, I watched CoffeeZill's video and then talking about like my own experiences with prediction markets and gambling. And on the video, there's a Kalshi ad who I think is like a competitor. I've learned from this because I didn't really know about them. I only know about Polymarket and Robinhood, but they do like, I think prediction market betting. I had like 4 people who work at Kalshi hit me up. Like high up people, bro. They're like head of fucking whatever, being like, yo, let me know if you want to do a Kalshi deal. We could definitely get some shit going for you on stream. Brother, I'm to the Kalshi heads. I'm not trying to do a deal. I want out. I want out. I'm gambling because I have money in the account and because I am addicted, but I'd like to not gamble. I lose money gambling. The only reason I made any money at all is because Miggy Rowe and Will Smith went fucking crazy in Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I would be losing an incredible amount if not for that. I'm offloading my money from Robinhood. I'm not trying to do a deal. Now, if we're willing to spend, fellas, are you willing to spend like the Dodgers? I'll change it all. Let me take this right back. Let's say 20K. What are we doing, boys? 1 Shohei Ohtani signed Topps card. I'll change my tune. Just 20K. 20K? You're right, 25. Chill nade shot. Fuck it, I run the bag. Run the bag. I wouldn't blame you. You should blame me. I think it'd be totally fine to blame me, brother. I've made enough money. I've made enough money that if I were to do a gambling deal, it would be a little, I think, embarrassing. Unless I have, for some reason, lost it all. Which I've lost a good amount, but not all of it. Are you still trying to get your pilot license? Yeah. Lud is never inviting Ron to a game again. Yeah, that was a rough one. That was a rough one. That was a fucking rough one, Ron. This bot is fucking impossible. Boom, another win for me, the biggest chess streamer of all time. Man, I talk like a piece of shit. Ludwig must be cheating. Your opening was flawless. You gave yourself the fool's mate. What are you, Jay Schlatt? You did the fool's mate opening. Lud is wrong, and that is a good thing. Originally, Lud didn't want to multi-stream because he feared it would fracture the community. Yesterday, he was streaming only on Twitch due to the sponsors, so people in chat asked for YouTube, and if he knows, it wasn't online. As a YouTube watcher, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. No, look, I think multi-streams is better for the viewer. I think it's just harder for the streamer. And you know who asked me about multi-streaming? I gave him all my thoughts on it. Was Cadril was asking about it. I'm not saying multi-streaming is like... it's never bad for the viewer. It's like always inherently better. It can be worse for the streamer. It can be. And I think I don't need to prove that. You can just look at who the biggest streamers in the world are. And I don't think any of them are multi-streamers. I don't think any of them. Speed. I think Speed stopped. I deadass think Speed started multi-streaming so he could get a contract from YouTube. I think Speed only did it for his marathon stream. Jinxie multi-streams on Vertical. I don't count Vertical. He does it on TikTok, right? Because he doesn't multi... Does he stream on... Oh, he does on YouTube? I didn't know that. Okay. That one I didn't know. Speed stopped at the Dan Clancy comment. I'm almost positive Speed wanted a YouTube deal, started multi-streaming to put pressure on. I mean, I have no fucking actual clue, but it would have been a smart play if that's what he did, is to multi-stream on Twitch because he's YouTube's biggest streamer and to get some support from YouTube. Threaten leaving him or at least fracturing his audience. X does the multi-streaming on Kick. Yeah, that's true. But like, you know, I guess I'm referencing Kai, Speed Now, Queso, but I didn't know Jinxie did it. But I think most don't. And I think there's a reason they don't. That's all I'm saying. Arrest me, officer. I think there's a reason they don't. How do I get my first 10 viewers? I got 5 today. You double it. But I don't know. I would assume the same way you went 0 to 5, you go 5 to 10. You got that shit. Have you done your Streamer Awards nomination? Yeah. It's in a video. The video has an obscenely clickbait title. It's like I ranked streamers or something. Coots in Cutie, this is the best collab. Okay, my subreddit's been co-opted. I'll take it. She's breathtaking. Can you stand up and show and wag it for everyone? Just wag it around. What the fuck is this? The Alienware sponsor stream today was horrible. No hate to anyone in the call, but the production and constant ad calls were annoying. Everyone was unmuted and talking over each other, combined with the cool Alienware blow up thing in New York. And cutting to the cam was so pointless. Not hitting on Lud for taking the easy money. And I actually didn't mind the stream on Tuesday. That was also sponsored. Today's stream was so enjoyable, and I feel sponsored in the future should allow for more creative control. Yesterday's BitLife stream was a great example of how it should be ran, even though this is clearly a step below other streams. It was entertaining. Look, I thought it was an awesome stream, and I want to give a big shout out to Alienware. And yeah. That shit ruled. And I got to go to the World Series. So, you know, take what we can in this world. I only have one more sponsor stream coming up, by the way. I'm not going to do many sponsor streams in November. I have one. And it's the Arc Raiders with Connor and Iron Mouse. It was supposed to be last week, but it got delayed. But I think that'll be fun because I think it's a good game and it's a good collab. It was supposed to be today, but it had to be pushed. I don't know why. I think it was going to be today. Scheduling, I guess. Protein Shake Chudwig thinks he's a part of the team. We did it. I know what a team effort. We bled for this. I love baseball. It's been a rough year. Let this man have this. Lol, this is legit kind of sad. Nah, it was awesome, bro. Baseball has been a great thing, man. For me, at least. A nice, fun thing to sink my teeth into. What's this? I am not wrong. Give me fan, bro.
Me?
Give me fan all day, all night.
Me?
Fan
really?
Is funny as hell. She is so funny. True. And if she does not get a nomination, it is it's a blunder.
What?
It's a blunder. It's true.
Wait, it's so what? Oh my god.
It's true.
Wait, I actually think I'm gonna cry. What? I'm not gonna cry. Like Ludwig, I'm not even like. Okay, I'm not gonna cry, but like, it's just so cute because like I feel like okay, you know you know what's funny or like what's stupid or I don't know
That's the girl who likes high schoolers.
adjective, but you know what's something is that like I feel like me and Ludwig haven't really done too much together even, but like especially with my past trip to LA. My past trip to LA was my first time like interacting with Ludwig more.
I gotta stop making women cry, bro. It's not my intent. I'm like Yugi, bro. I'm not trying to. I'm seriously trying to turn a new leaf.
Like on a more personal level and like on an off-stream level, and I thought he was really great. And I was like, I even commented on it. I was like, you sound so different in real life than you do on camera. And he was like, do I? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, hopefully it's not a bad thing. And I was like, no, it's a good thing. You seem like really real and genuine off camera. And I never saw him that way until fucking I went to stay with them for like 2 weeks in LA. And I was never actually sure if he even liked me or not.
I'm actually really fucking sweet in person, chat. I'm actually like really fucking sweet and nice and shit. She's saying you're low-key fake on camera. Yeah. Yes. I am here to entertain. That's my job. It's like you've walked into a Starbucks and they're like, hello, can I take your order? And you're like, you're being fake right now. It's like, no, they're just being good at their job. Their actual fucking sentence would be like, what do you want, dumbass? But they can't say that. Look at her chat. What'd she say? She's never typed in my chat ever. Okay.
But he was always just so nice to me. And I was like, oh, maybe he's just really nice to me because he's a nice person. But maybe he likes me. Maybe he likes me, which I'm a little bit of a validation whore. So it does make me happy when
Ludwig making
someone likes me.
Cry.
Cry or laugh. Both. Oh my God. Anyway, W Ludwig for voting for his mistress. That's actually very kind. I guess.
It's not my.
I guess making him cheat on Cutie with me. That's a good thing.
Okay. All right. Okay. And now we have mistress accusations. Holy moly, those eyes. They're not bad. I need unbiased advice on who to vote for the next election. Squomo or Ludwig? I think Ludwig. He's never done anything wrong. Thought this was ironically posted. Thought someone ironically posted Ludwig in the local Facebook group. Okay, that's enough Reddit for today. That was enough Reddit for today. Chat, I was on the TV though. That was cool. I was on the TV. When they make the World Series video that's sold at like Dick's Sporting Goods that nobody ever buys ever, I will be in that tape. I will be in that tape. All right, quick fantasy football update for the fantasy football nerds. Chat. Today was a great fucking week. I want to kick things off with our loss because we lost 1 to Clint Stevens. This was expected. I had to start Michael Carter because Bucky Irving's still out. Okay, Garrett Wilson's out. Isaiah Pacheco's out. I had a rough few outs. So I expected to lose this one. I lose to Clint. It is what it is. It is what it is. We continue our undefeated streak in my high school league. Undefeated. Dropped 153 points. I am truly the GOAT. I cannot be touched. They had Drake London. It did not matter. Your team is disgusting. Yeah. My team is awesome. And I picked up Gadsden. I picked up Gadsden and I picked up Rico Dowdle on waivers. And Wandale, by the way. Wandale's been amazing. I feel like he's not getting enough love. But he is a consistent hitter every week. Wandale's always good for 13. Yeah, my team's awesome. And then I defeated the undefeated. I defeated the undefeated Jeremiah Brown. This guy was 8-0. This is the $5,000 league. I'm the first one to finally put him down. Thanks to a pretty clutch pickup, I picked up Kyle Monongai. He went crazy. Dalton Kincaid went crazy. Seahawks defense, a good start. Perhaps controversially sat J-Mo, but he's pretty inconsistent. And I beat him, mostly because Jonathan Taylor had an off game. Mostly because Jonathan Taylor didn't drop 35 points. But I think I'm a little worried because I'm also a Jonathan Taylor owner, and the Colts schedule is really hard. Like, their first 8 weeks were really soft, and now it's going to be tough. Tucker Kraft got injured. Yeah, Tucker Kraft also did get injured. That helped. Also, Joe Flacco went insane. Joe Flacco for 30's nuts. Yeah, he should have gone for 32, but he threw a pick the last play of the game. And then in what people are calling the piss versus shit bowl, I won with a score of 63 against a guy who didn't start 2 players. I barely scraped by, putting up 0.2 from Alvin Kamara, 0 from Kayshon Boutte. It was a rough showing. Are you the piss or the shit? I think piss in this example. This is before the NBA three-point line. It is a little bit. I think I'm pretty much out in this league. Booty got hurt. I did discover that, but it didn't matter. Did you intentionally throw this league? No, I just got a bit unlucky. I got a bit unlucky, bro. Who else did I have in this league? I had Chuba Hubbard in this league. Oh, my team's just ass. And that was it, man. That's my fantasy update. This is what I was talking about the other day, by the way.
Oh, I stubbed my toe. Well, since I already stubbed my toe, it's time to make it back. So let's put it on a hand of blackjack. Oh, I stubbed my toe. Well, since I already stubbed my toe, it's time to make it back. So let's put it on a hand of blackjack.
Yeah, this shit, bro. That shit pisses me off. I see that shit all the time. Lo-Fi Girl has double your viewers right now. I'm going to send a death threat. All right, sorry, not... She doesn't, by the way. She's at 1.2K. So she's washed. Why does she have 8,000 fucking... Oh, this is a real one. Shit. She's got me beat right now. Whatever, bro. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, bro. Okay? This fucking snake. You know, like, they literally made a multi-million-dollar business from just ripping off one Ghibli frame. That's it. They ripped off one Ghibli frame. Now they made fucking millions and millions of goddamn dollars. And it's not even a woman that runs it or a girl. It goes to a man. Now, how do you feel? Now, how do you feel that a man gets the money from the lo-fi girl? Lo-fi girl is a wage slave forced to study so her male master can extract value out of her. And that's who you're defending. I'm just saying, chat. That's not what I would be defending. That is not what I would be defending. Oh, we playing some Yaku? The Herman Miller baseball game. I just know that guy sitting cross-legged in the outfield cannot be good. Is this a ref? An ump? I want to run a softball game, chat. I want to run a damn softball game. Hold up, I got to shit. Oi! All right. I'm debating whether I can last another hour and a half if I have enough steam. I might not. Oh, chat, by the way, I'm going to Red Bull Homegrounds in New York. Give a warm welcome to our Red Bull Homeground on-site co-streamers. It's me, Tens, and Tarek. The guy who won a major, the guy who's the best aim in the world, and Ludwig, the guy who reached platinum in League of Legends. Twice. Why do they not put that in? I reached it twice. I reached it twice. I hope the stream will be longer. Well, I want to stream longer for sure. I just happen to be sick. But I really want to watch this video about how Japan took over baseball from baseball doesn't exist. I want to watch this video. I also wanted to watch... I'm doing this Minecraft event. Let me see if I can find it. Whoops. I'm doing this Minecraft event, chat, on Saturday with Ish and Evbo and I think Siwat. Yeah, this is it. I'm doing a Minecraft event with Ish, Giga, Evbo, Siwat, and Grox for Movember. For men. For men's health to check your nuts. And I think it's like a MCC-like event. So anyway, I think we're going to do like a little training arc to like try to get better, and then we're gonna play. But I also kind of want to watch Grox's video because Grox released a video called 1 Million Villager Manhunt that has 100 million views. So I need to understand my teammate. Nah!
Gotta make this jump. Oh, let's go. Oh my.
I gotta watch Grox's video. Wait, is Grox in chat? No. Oh, you guys are just saying Grox, is this real? Okay, good one. Oh my God, dude, swallowing is horrible. Oh, also, okay, so today's Monday. Hold up, let me think about this. Because I also want to do our charity stream. Okay, let me think. So I think the game plan this week. So there's Monday, but then there's also Tuesday. And then there's Wednesday, and then there's Thursday. Then there's Friday, then there's Saturday, and then there's usually Sunday. I think that's usually how it goes. So the only thing I have, so I have the sponsor, I think, on Thursday. So I think Thursday, this is Friday. So I think Thursday we do the Arc Raiders with Sea-Dog and Mouse, Grok's video, And I think that'll be good. Maybe something else. Tuesday. Okay, I really want to watch this video. How Japan took over baseball. But okay, let's just put down our for sures. So Saturday is the Minecraft event, and then I kind of want to co-stream Worlds. I kind of want to watch Worlds because I've been watching a lot of Worlds. It's going to be late, I know. I really want to play Dispatch as well. And then I'm supposed to be playing maybe RV There Yet with a group. Let's see if they've replied. Perhaps RV There Yet. Baseball vid and RV There Yet. I do want to play Dispatch as well. Can you do Dispatch on Wednesday? The new chapters come out on Wednesday. Well, I should play before because I need to catch up, no? It's like an hour an episode. How many episodes are there? 4? So it would take like 4 hours. So you're just saying big ass Dispatch stream on Wednesday. Okay, I could do that.
Hello Ludwig, I met you in the bathroom of Fast 52, wasn't expecting you to be chill, I'll never forget when you said this is weird huh? Piss in N talk in W.
They're saying I'm chill. Appreciate the dono, man. I love you, I'm leaving. Mods ban that guy. You love me, but you won't stick around for a simple schedule segment. You love me, but you don't fucking wait 5 minutes. Gonna take me 5 minutes to finish this. You gotta go right now. Mods ban that guy. Maybe they have an emergency. They have mobile Twitch app now. Bring me with you to the emergency. I could maybe help. You don't think about that. We could be tackling this emergency together. But no, you gotta go. All right, hold up. Let me check real quick. Whoa. What? Oh, okay. No, never mind. I can do Thursday.
Do you remember the huge food court in the Rockingham Mall? They got rid of all the joy and whimsy from it. Frown.
Wait, what are you talking about? What mall? Chat, what mall were they talking about? All right, RV There Yet on Thursday. Minecraft event League Worlds. Friday, Minecraft training. And then Tuesday, tomorrow, baseball. I guess React Andy. Really. I think it's good. And then I want to do the charity stream. Yeah, but I think I'm sick. So I'm not 100. If I feel better, I could do it Sunday. Maybe, but I don't want to lock that in because I want to make sure I feel better first because I think it'd be a long stream. What are you going to do? I thought about it. So I think it's the Ludwig speed run. And for every $1,000 we raise, I'll add an item to the speed run. And it'll be a list of everything I've ever done ever on stream because Canabana's an OG viewer. So like, you know, it's kind of like the God Gamer Gauntlet, but like think like Mario Party 2, getting over it, poke, you know, you just keep adding stuff. So the list could have like, you know, 20 things on it or whatever. No. Some of you guys are mistaking the idea. The idea is not put a Foozly haircut in. It is speed running things that I've done on stream. So it has to be something I've done on stream that I can speed run. I'm not doing a fucking foos cut for charity. I don't care. I'm not doing it. No, it has to be something that can feasibly be done in like less than an hour. Yeah, like a 16 stars perfect. Any Faudian games are perfect. It's going to be for the Trevor project. But I don't know what day it'll be yet. Because I got to feel better first. Because I think it'll be a long stream. Who are you playing RV there yet with? Who are you playing RV there yet so I can carve out PC time or bring my phone with me? Mods, ban that person. Because it shouldn't matter who else is with me as long as I'm there. All right? It doesn't matter. Because I'm there. Why do you care who else is there? You know it'll be good. Anyway, it's Kanye West, the ghost of Adolf Hitler, and Neon City show up, which is pretty cool. It'll be a good... no, it'll be Foozly, Ray, Squeaks. I'm watching on my phone at work right now. How's work going? Tell your boss you want a raise today. Let's fuck around. All right. I think for today I should wrap. Just because I'm a bit sick and I feel my throat getting weaker because I've been just yapping for 3 hours. E33 when? It'll be later in the month. I got this week ahead of me and I'll just focus on that for now. My throat's usually really strong. For sure. I actually pride myself on the strength of my throat. Anyway, thank you for all the subs today. I appreciate it very much. We hit 9,000. No, we didn't. We were 17 subs away. We came close to hitting 9,000 subs, which is awesome. That's half the goal. Are you going to China this month? I think if I go, it'd be next, but I have to get an update. But yeah, thank you guys for all the support, chat. I know last month was a mid-month for content. But it was just a bit of a whirlwind one with the F4 race. And so I just wrote that shit off.
We are back on board.
We wrote that month off. Forever Fire, thank you for the 10 gifted. It's okay. We don't have to hit it. I appreciate the 10 though, man. That's awesome. Anyway, this month will be better. I feel good about this month. This month will be a banger month. And then we'll close out strong for December. And then I have some other shit I'm working on. I'm a night auditor, so I work alone and do paperwork. My yearly review is in the morning. Ooh. Yo, yearly review tip, bring some shit for them. You know? Bring some shit to tell them that you would like for them to be better at next year. Because they always ask that question, I feel like, as a throwaway. So you got to prep some shit. Maggie, thank you for the 5. I'm new. Thanks for having me. Yeah, of course. Maggie, we have the most welcoming community on youtube.com and twitch.tv. Luz gonna get you fired. Tell him you want to raise or don't show up to work tomorrow. Tell your boss to not show up to work tomorrow, or else it's gonna be a problem. Good morrow. I am a humbler. What are you saying? Good morrow, Sir Ludwig. I am thine humble admirer. Wouldst thou fancy a friendly contest in the noble game of Tetris? Not but a light-hearted match for the sport and honor. Should it please thee? No, I don't do Tetris like that. I don't do Tetris like that. I did see a clip this week. I think it might have been today. I'm getting brain fog time travel from the sickness of this VTuber who just kept saying, yeah, if you're going to go to the LUT event, you got to get hard for him. Oh, yeah? Yeah, you got to make sure you get hard at the LUT event. Go in the corner right now and fluff for me. I want to make sure you get hard for me at the LUT event. Like this? Yeah, like that. Yeah, it'd be pretty lame if you went to the LUT event with a soft dick. You want to make sure to go to the LUT event with a hard penis. And I watched the whole thing. It went on for 45 minutes. I saw 45 minutes of a one-man routine. No one ever said this? People have said this. You got to get big at the LUT event. You've heard this be said before. You wouldn't want to embarrass yourself in front of LUT, bro. You got to get big at the LUT event. Aiden says this all the time. Yes. Will you collab with Dan and Phil? I don't think I'm available, man. I don't think I'm not on the list. You know, like, hey, I would start for the Dodgers if they asked me, but they're not going to ask me. And I don't think Dan and Phil are hitting me up for the collab. All right, chat, I'm out. Actually, you know what? Hold up. Chat, 2 Twitch primes. We're 2 primes away from 9,000. Who got 2 primes for me? Not a gift, just 2 primers. I know there's 2 of you, y'all. I know there's 2 of you. Thank you very much, Vibes Lit. Thank you very much. And Ambition. Bang, easy. Appreciate that. All right, I was gonna raid Nut because he's doing a Nut-a-thon, but he's not live right now. So I'll raid him when he's live. Because I feel like it'd be weird to raid him when he's not live. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'll raid Connor. He's playing every 5 nights at Freddy's. All right, chat. Appreciate y'all. I'm out. I'll be live again tomorrow. Like 4, maybe 5. Earlier than today for sure. Appreciate you guys hanging out, though. that's it, man.